got to be real concerned right now with Jeff Braun because he has not even moved yet.
Jeff Braun, how in the world are you starting this game tonight after taking that hit just 6 days ago?
Is this or is this not the XFL? Yes, it is. Do I not currently have a pulse? Yes, I do. Let's play football.
And if Jeff Braun was feeling any ill effects from that Shante Carver hit, he has not shown it tonight. He has kept his poise.
Touchdown!
Hang him high! Touchdown, Orlando! Jeff Braun is the guy who made this play.
The spirit of Tommy Maddox is definitely XFL.
Tommy is really the heart and soul of this team.
Tommy Maddox, the gunslinger.
Tommy Tantrum. When he's hot, he is really hot. Maddox throws into the end zone. Touchdown!
Tommy Maddox is brilliant.
The LA General.
There you see the man, number 8, Tommy Maddox.
Tommy Maddox throws a strike.
Tommy Maddox, can he work his magic? Miracle Maddox.
Two of the best quarterbacks in the XFL on display tonight.
Is this or is this not the XFL? Yes, it is. Let's play football.
A fitting start here from Los Angeles today, where LA Xtreme fans are expecting explosives of the football variety all day. The Xtreme faithful have seen their team home only one time in over a month, but the X-Men are back to see what could be a preview of the big game at the end. Today from the historic LA Coliseum, it's the undefeated Orlando Rage out of the East taking on the first place Western Los Angeles Xtreme. The Rage so far, the class of the XFL, they're 6-0, and as one player said this week, he'd be less than honest to say they're not thinking about running the table. Meanwhile, out west, hey, it's as jam-packed as the California freeways. The LA Xtreme, yes, they're in first place, but just a slim edge with 4 games to go. You get us going today. Let's go to the field for the mad scramble.
All right, gentlemen, are you ready? Here's what we're going to do now. I'm going to tell you to take your marks. When you're set, I'm going to blow the whistle, and you go down and scramble. You ready to scramble? Take your marks. Orlando has the toss and will receive. LA will kick away from the Jumbotron.
So Scott Cloman comes up with it for Orlando, and they will receive. Hello again, everybody. Welcome to the XFL on the National Network. I'm Craig Minervini, as always, with Bob Golick. Great matchup, perhaps the best of the XFL so far this year. Bob, you got the LA Xtreme playing well now in first in the West. And you've got the best story, and everybody around the league outside of Orlando is saying, stop the streak, stop the streak. The 6-0 Orlando Rage.
Well, as much as they're trying to downplay that, Jeff Braun is the guy at quarterback for the Rage that has really kept it going. Why is he doing it? Well, one reason is he's a pretty darn good quarterback. The other reason, he's got 3 good running backs that they use in rotation. There's actually a very, which really makes it...
And that guy's not one of them, by the way.
That's right.
He's not one of the running backs.
Makes it dual-dimensional, so it works out very well. And I'll tell you what, it gives a good balance.
As you look at the LA Xtreme, they've got a couple of weapons, too. And certainly the leader of their team, the fiery guy for the Xtreme, and that is Tommy Maddox, their quarterback.
Right. Tommy Maddox is a guy that is playing so well. He's kind of a field general for these guys. He gets out there. He's not afraid to yell at his own teammates, his coaches, his kickers. But the good thing is that as good as they are when he's been a one-dimensional guy, they seem to find themselves a little bit of a running attack last week.
Well, it took them 6 weeks, but all of a sudden they found a guy in their very own backyard, and Saladin McCullough, who had 2 touchdowns last week on the ground for this team. What a new weapon for L.A.
No doubt about it. Anytime you have an offense who knows how to run things and get things going, and you give him a little bit of a running attack, even a little bit, to take some of the pressure off him, man, that can open up an offense even more.
So Orlando will receive on a gorgeous day. It's 68 degrees and beautifully sunny in Southern California. They have not had a sunny home game this year. Both 2 games they've played have been wet. Jose Cortez, one of the better kickers after a sluggish start in the XFL. Brian Shea will be back to run it back, the all-time leading rusher in college football history, number 20. Not tall at 5'8", but he can fly, and he's got a heck of a heart.
Without a doubt, and it's going to be very emotional right from the start of this game because both these teams feel they've got the best team out there. The Rage, well, being undefeated, you got to give it to them with a little bit of an advantage.
3 yards deep, Shea takes it, he finds a hole and gets up near the 30-yard line. To start it off, Eric Johnson made the stop, and we're underway from L.A. Again, these are two teams, Bob, that have not seen one another. They train on different sides of the country this year. And really a good test for both of these teams today.
Have to take a look at them today, and we'll see what kind of attack. We talked before coming in that this Rage attack has a passing game with Braun, but also has a very, very strong running game led by Derek Clark.
60 speed on one. Ready?
You've got to figure that this extreme defense right off the bat is going to say, let's take away that running game so we can focus on Jeff Braun.
Braun has not thrown an interception since week 3. He's been very solid since, with 4 touchdowns over that span. Throwing over the middle, and right away he's got a receiver, and Derek Clark is running back for a good game.
We feel pretty confident right now after that win over Vegas, but at the same time, we think this will probably be our toughest test because they're at the same level as Vegas, and it's at their place, and they're playing pretty well right now. So this is obviously our biggest game of the year.
And they started off with a passing game, trying to throw off that what the extreme defense expected.
In motion is Swain. Clark gets the ball. He's got a room on the outside of the 40, flag down as he gets up near the 45-yard line. Flag in the backfield of the Rage.
Well, anytime there's a corner so wide open like that, you got to expand. A running back gets that much yardage. You got to figure somebody on the outside is holding. Lamont Evans, the safety, came up looking around going, man, I could have had that play, but somebody had a hold of me.
So that'll back up the Rage. Derek Clark had a streak of
a run, holding 79. Repeat.
Yeah, a lot of times on the outside, you're going to see to the right side of your screen here, he gets pulled down, kind of rolls up in the back of his legs. Anything but a straight block not only is illegal, somewhat unconscionable. Offensive lineman always trying to cheat.
On Sean Love, who Coach Galen Hall told us he was the strongest, that he used a little of his strength right there to pull back one of the extremes. So it's 2nd and 14. Braun passing in the flats. He's got Mario Bailey. And Bailey well covered in the play by Ricky Parker, who's moved up to the cornerback spot, playing well for them.
And there you see Galen Hall, head coach for the Orlando Rage. We talked to him quite extensively. Talked a little bit, kind of laid back, not too excited.
Didn't get you ready to put the uniform on again?
He did not convince me to do it. In fact, he never even asked me to do it. So what does that say for me?
Smart man. Galen Hall, who lived in Orlando since coaching in the World League since 1990, former Gators coach, and he's done very well in NFL Europe. Big 3rd down and 7 here early on for the Rage, trying to get some momentum against the Extreme on enemy turf. Braun in traffic, he's taken down. Looked like Jamal Duff, and Dave Ritchie came in on him. And they're going to give the guy they call Rich, Dave Ritchie, who's back in the lineup with a big sack for the Extreme.
Well, he missed about 4 weeks with a knee injury. Comes back, is like, hey, I'm not even used to being hurt. He is back in playing. Really different, kind of not what we expected. 3 wide receiver sets, 4 wide receiver sets starting off for the Rage.
Jay Chandler punting, taken by Damon Gibson, finds a room. He's at the 50, look out! The kicker to beat! And he knocks him out at the 19-yard line. And Bob, I'm a bit surprised Gibson did not cut back left. I think he could have beat the kicker easily for the touchdown.
Possibly could have beat it. Punt 46-yard with a return of 50. A net -4. I was a math minor at Notre Dame. Watch this. I'll tell you what, it's all about finding the lane, knowing the cut, and being able to make those cuts when you see them. That's where the talent lies. And maybe he should have taken that last cut back to the inside. But, you know those kickers. they're often known as some of the best tacklers out there.
Gibson was inactive 3 of the first 4 weeks. He leads the team in punt return after finally catching Luganville's eye, and he's a mainstay now. Over the middle, Gibson again at the 15. The 5'9", 184-pound wideout out of Iowa makes the grab.
Well, it's 5'9", that size. You don't want to be sitting in the middle with Patrice Alexander, 6'1", 250.
Throws on one, right?
Getting ready to take a shot at you, but that's exactly what they did. Both teams actually starting with a short dump pass, trying to set things up.
Check corners, Chief.
The Xtreme, no backs in the backfield.
48.
Maddox has some time, plenty of time. He may take off. They're looking for a receiver. May have cost him a couple of yards rushing by doing that, but he picked up a couple before Corey Gilliard knocked him out a gain of 4.
I'll tell you what, great coverage by the Rage, especially down here in deep. Makes it a little bit easier in coverage when you've got so limited range to let your receivers go downfield. All the receivers went out. There wasn't really anybody else.
Looked like he had a chance, Bob, to run early and pick up some yardage, but he was trying to buy time and bait the quarterback to get the receiver.
That's exactly right. He's trying to bait the quarterback.
Still got a gainer. Saladin McCullough, here he is. The guy who had a tough period growing up nearby in Pasadena, always wanted to play here for the Trojans.
Kick it.
He's going to be a little bit short of that first down. You can hear him say they're going to kick the ball. Hey, in a game like this, could come down to just a point here, point there. You might as well be the first one to draw blood.
It's been almost a guarantee with Cortez, who missed 3 of his first 5, but since has hit 10 of his last 11 field goals. He's got the best percentage overall, 75% this year. This one spotted about a 29-yarder chip shot for Jose Cortez. Decides to go with the boot, and he's got it. So Cortez now 8 for 11 with the shoe, 4 for 6 without it. Our score, 3-zip, right back into these messages and a word from your local station. Now, courtesy of Busch Beer, let's take a look at last night's XFL action.
Play action to Snell. There's Ricky Brady again. Touchdown outlet. Vegas back on top.
And the wheels are coming off Birmingham.
Play action to Ben Snell. Rolling. Yoverty wide open. Touchdown. And Vegas is starting to open things up.
This is a $100,000 play. Wally back to throw. The pass. Oh, he got it. Touchdown! Zola Davis! Zola Davis with a $100,000 catch! And New York about to win their first game at home!
Well, Bob, how about those New York, New Jersey Hitmen? They've won 2 in a row.
They have got something going on. That 16-15 win over Memphis. Starting to find, well, we saw what they started to do. Yeah. They started to open their offense up a little bit. They didn't play as conservative, didn't go with the ball control. They started getting the ball downfield and found out that they had some guys that could actually make some plays.
And fortunately for the Hitmen in a 10-game season, they found enough time to turn it around. And now all of a sudden they're the second-place team at 3-4. In the playoff hunt, very much so. If they finish second, they're in. As Shea takes the Cortez kickoff, he can fly, but he's dragged down at the 23.
Okay, now, Craig, coming into this drive, this is the Rage's second drive, obviously. We told you they were probably going to try and we heard from them that they're probably going to try and establish a run. In their first drive, all pass plays, except for the one run that was called back from the penalty.
H1 tray, 14 on one. Ready?
You had all pass plays, 3 wide receiver sets, a couple of 4 wide receiver sets.
Right. I would think trying to throw them off. They've got the top rushing attack in the league this year, and they come out, what are they doing? They're just passing. In motion is Bailey. They do hand off to Clark, and he's got some room over the 30. Near the first down at the 33.
Boy, Clark, it's not overly quick.
Come on now.
You know, it was just a matter of really being patient. You know, when you think about a running back, you think about somebody just slashing it in, hitting it hard into the hole.
8-0 tray, 60 smash, Z under on one. Ready?
Smash making it sound like they're going to take it back up inside again, try and get this first down, but Clark really bides his time.
Yeah. He got the 10, Bob, so it is first.
Oh, he did get the first down, okay.
First and 10 for the Orlando Rage. Rom slips. Now he thinking about running, has it in a block from Clark, and he takes off for a few yards. You know, he played behind Steve Young in San Francisco, and he said one of the things that he picked up talking with us yesterday was how you can make plays with your feet. That time, just a couple of yards for Jeff Brom.
Well, we all remember Steve Young when he first started, how much running it did. But, you know, Brom isn't going to run that much, but he's very good at picking up yardage that he needs. And also, as we said before, doing something.
0-960 combo on one. Ready?
Being able to tease that defense where maybe the corner or the safety will come up on a coverage and open up one of his receivers.
Go!
It's coming.
Expecting the blitz, they got it. Quick throw, Brom, incomplete. The coverage by Del McGee, and he was all over Dalio Burks. One of the things Luganville talked about with us, Bob, was the key of stopping guys like Burke and Bailey, who are among the leaders in yards per reception. They make the big plays on everybody.
Nickel was up on that.
Yeah, stayed over here, right?
Off,
And who blitzed? The guy on the other side blitzed. You got to raise up and hit Swain. You guys got to see that.
Now, the funny thing is, when you talk about their personnel, how good the running attack is, we were just talking about the receivers, you start realizing there's no surprise that they're 6-0.
Brom wide open is Kevin Swain, and there's a big play inside the 45 down to the 43 of the Xtreme before Lamont Evans knocked him out of bounds.
You know, one of the things that you want your quarterback to be able to do is to throw that out. They ran the receivers upfield, they cleared out the underneath zones, and Kevin Swain right there in the flat to make the grab.
Z0, 14 bounce pass on one. Ready?
Yes. He was Kentucky's Mr. Louisville. Jeff Brom is a senior back in high school. Baseball player and football player, avoiding the rush. He throws and nobody was near the right side of the field, but he was out of the pocket as Kennelly put the pressure on Brom.
Pocket! He's in the pocket!
Luganville.
Well, he's not listening to our broadcast.
What do you got?
He was out.
There you go.
Okay.
Definitely out because there was no wide receiver even on that side of the
Well,
field.
giving it a shot. Good college try for the former coach of San Diego State.
Like you see, the short little, he's going to scramble out to the right. You know what? Might have been a little close.
Close.
He's got to get out past the tackle.
The Rage have thin guys up front, so he might have been outside that fanny of the right tackle. Derek Clark with a few yards. Galen Hall thinks he's got the smallest team overall in the XFL.
Really?
That's been a factor.
Really do, and that's it. But they're hustling out there. That time, good play. Dave Ritchie once again sliding off his block. It's ripping up Clark.
Zero, 60 war hooks on one. Ready? Check back.
You know, their center's only 290 and the right tackle's only 305. So you know how coach tries to sell you sometimes. Brom's passing again. Fires a strike off the hands of Burks. And we're looking for the call, and again it was Ricky Parker and Del McGee on the coverage. Good coverage here, Bob.
Tell you what, you know, whenever there's a problem with covering the pass, they always talk about too much cushion. Here, these guys are not giving up the cushion. McGee right on his guy. Right there, not only make the play on the receiver, but make the play on the ball also.
Jay Taylor back to punt on the 4th and 10. He rolls one to Damon Gibson. Look out, he's got it at the 10. This time he's forced out of bounds on the play by Jimmy Clements. A return of 7 yards. Our score here in Los Angeles is the LA 3 and Orlando nothing. As we pause for a timeout, we'll take this look at Rage quarterback Jeff Brom, a great example of the U.S. Army's victories in life.
Shante Carver came in and just cleared his clock. He's still down.
Is this or is this not the XFL? And the answer to that is yes. Do I or do I not have a pulse? And yes, I do, so let's go play football.
Amazingly, he'll start tonight after a punishing shot that knocked him out.
You know, a lot of people can play when they're healthy, but can you play when you're banged up and injured? And, you know, that's the real question when it comes to quarterback is going out there playing under fire when maybe you're not feeling the way you want to and still getting the job done.
The XFL on TNN is brought to you by the United States Army an army of one. By Buell American Motorcycles. To win one, visit XFL.com. And by Smooth Bush Beer and Easy Drinking Bush Light.
Back in Los Angeles, the Extreme cheerleaders entertaining the crowd here at the historic Coliseum, home of 2 Olympiads, built back in 1923. Here's Saladin McCullough. He finds a hole to get it up to the 20. Here's a guy, Bob, inactive for 4 of his first 5 games, and he became the first Extreme player to go over the 100-yard mark last week. 2 touchdowns. They had a rushing touchdown by a running back since week 2.
And I tell you what, like we said,
142 X go on one.
So takes the pressure off of Tommy Maddox. And, there's 2 ways to look at it, though. Is this just a guy who was waiting to explode? Or is it a guy who just had a lucky day? Obviously, the Extreme hoping for the former.
Well known in these circles down here. Everybody wondered what happened to Saladin. Bombs away, Maddox. Incomplete. Rochelle was looking to find the ball, but he was well covered by Reggie Doster on the play. Incomplete.
Well, they just went with a go on that one, man. He just went down the field. Unfortunately, the arm didn't match the speed of the wide receiver.
Here we go. My bad. Let's go. Deuce tough lie. 42 sprint on one, right?
One thing Luganville told us he's very happy with is how accurate Maddox has become, especially in the last few weeks. He has not thrown a pick in over 10 quarters.
48!
In motion is Jermaine Copeland with the handoff is McCullough again. With just a few yards. Got over the 20, gain of about 4.
I don't know what they expected. I don't know what they expected on that play. Roberson was standing wide open. Somebody blew a block on that one. Saw Sean Banks and number 90, James Roberson, wide open, just waiting for the running back to come to him.
But Extreme are the only team in the XFL with not only the kicker, but also the punter. Everybody else handles kicking and punting. It's worked to the advantage of the Extreme because Prefontaine here is averaging 44 a punt. So they use 2 players to handle kicking and punting, unlike the others. Skinny Culver is back to the 32, up to the 40. He's got some room at midfield. Tipping tackles and breaking into the Extreme territory down to the 46. And it was Prefontaine who made the stop after the 22-yard return.
Right! I asked Galen Hall, I said, so why do they call him Skinny? He goes, I guess he's always been skinny. You all right? Thanks for that insight. I figured there was like something like some deeper story or something to it.
He's not 300 pounds. He's 160.
Holding, 90, defense, 10 yards from the
family gave it to him, some
First
friends, college thing.
You ever heard of a skinny guy named Fat?
No.
Let's go. You're watching the XFL on TNN, the national network. Extreme linebacker Sean Stuckey, who last week stuck it to the quarterback of the Bolts, Casey Weldon, knocking him out on a clean hit for the remainder of the season. We talked with Sean about it.
It was a blitz call, and we were trying to do something, anything to stop Casey Weldon. He was on fire at that point. So we called the blitz, and I was lined up on a slot receiver, and he didn't see me lined up there. And as soon as the ball came off the line, I went. And normally, when you go on a blitz like that, a quarterback could see you after the first 2 or 3 steps. But he had his back to me, and he was rolling away. And so I was able to come in and get a good hit on him. Really, I wasn't trying to hit him hard. I was trying to knock the ball out. But it was just the position that he was in and the speed that I was coming that hurt him.
Well, Weldon's taken a lot of hits over the course of the year, holding on to that job. One of the tough guys out there. Jeff Brom also knowing that he's taken a couple of hits. This Rage offense usually scripting its first 10 plays. Today, 3 runs, only 7 passes.
Swain was in motion, and Brom looked for him all the way there and tried to get him back after the long route, and he could not hook up with him for the gain of about 20, so it's second down.
Vince! You getting out?
Swain was flying downfield there, Bob. A little mix-up between him, you think, and the quarterback?
Well, without a doubt, yeah. Communication problems. It's not even a communication. He probably was told and just blew his assignment. Sometimes you get out there, you go in motion, you forget where you're supposed to be.
Rage, the fifth best passing attack. Big hole for Michael Black. He gets up to the 28-yard line, but again, flagged down after the gain of 8.
Anytime you see a play cutting back up inside, you can assume that there's some kind of illegal block going on. Holding or illegal block.
The penalties hampering both teams here, especially the Rage early on. Neither team able to really get it going aside for a couple of exciting punt returns. Kind of feeling each other out.
That's good. Yeah, so far today, we're not seeing what we expected out of the Rage. We've had a couple of guys making mistakes. Remember the first series, they went with a run to Derek Clark, called back on a hold. Now holding inside. Sean Love, number 79. 2 holding calls already today. One guy's poised breaking down. He's going to have to, I don't know if they're not used to the field, what it is, but his teammate's going to have to grab him by the nape of the neck, get him to focus.
He's the right guard, an experienced guy. He's been in the NFL for a part of 7 seasons. Ball. He has Kevin Swain. They got about, maybe 10 yards back.
Third down.
Bring up a third down play. Orlando so far 1 out of 3 on third down.
And Swain did a nice job. Swain, one of those guys with some good hands. They're going to try and use those short routes to try and pick up
60 scream. Almost ready.
Pick up little short bits of yardage, a bit at a time. You heard the screen call here.
Liz.
Get the ball out to the running back, to the receiver, and let him get the yardage himself.
Third and long. Again, it's Swain in motion. Tom going downtown the other way, looking for the big play. Incomplete. He was looking for Skinny Culver, and he again was well covered. Ricky Proctor was all over him.
Well, the one thing, even though we're seeing a lack of poise up inside, one thing we're seeing is good coverage. Not a whole lot of room out there. If receivers are going to make
You don't go out. You go out on a Roger call. H under.
I was going out. Dan told me to stay in because he told me to go out on the end.
Jay Taylor again to punt. That's a short punt. Grabbed at the 47-yard line by Damon Gibson. He's got room again. Gibson to the 30. Gibson this time gets by the kicker, but again is nudged down after a few more yards. Taylor making his second tackle. A punt of 33. A return of 33. Why even bother when you have those numbers?
Well, then the flag's down at almost about the line of scrimmage where the punt was punted from. It might be on the punting team. Illegal man downfield. Yep.
All right, we'll go 5 from here.
They will decline. They'll move it from the point of the return.
Illegal receiver downfield, number 24, offense. 5 yards from the end of the run. First down, Los Angeles.
Well, I don't know. You can't call it home field advantage, but certainly things are working out to the advantage of the Xtreme with field position.
We run
done a great job on these returns.
From a guy, again, who was inactive 3 of the first 4 weeks, Damon Gibson leads the league, adding to his total. He came in at 15 and a half. Did a 51-yard punt return, and then that one was 34 yards, and they are in good position here at the 14.
Go! 48! 48!
Round passing, it's Rochelle inside the 5, and he pulls forward. He took Kelly Malvo down to the 2-yard line. Let's go down to the sidelines to one of our favorite guys, Lee Rehrman. Lee, take it away.
Damon Gibson, you've touched the ball twice. The field position you're giving your team is spectacular. What'd you eat this morning, buddy?
I ate my Wheaties, and hey, that's my job, to get the team good field position. I'm looking for a big return today. I want a touchdown. 1 on punt return, 1 on kickoff return.
He had a 58-yard touchdown catch last week against the Bolts.
Not too much to ask for.
Go!
He has been a big spark. McCullough's in the backfield. He's got the big H-back Leatherwood in front of him, and Leatherwood's going to throw the block. And McCullough diving. Did he get in? He may have been down just before he got to the goal line. No signal from the referee, and they'll down him inside the one McCullough wanted that one.
I don't know, it looked like it might have been Cedric Clark or somebody knifing in at the last second to cut him off at the ankles and not allow him the power to drive it in.
You got 20 seconds.
You got to understand what Saladin McCullough is all about, to understand how important this is for him. Always wanted to go to USC, grew up in the area, rough area around, had a tough childhood, spent some time in jail, which he said was miscommunication.
Keep it on him now. Keep him on.
Not convicted and then let go. We'll talk about it more at halftime. And he's finally back with a chance to play in the Coliseum. Maddox on the keeper. No signal. Touchdown. Late signal. Tommy Maddox with his second rushing touchdown of the year. And the Xtreme are off to an extremely good start.
I tell you what, the Xtreme crowd off to an extremely good start. They brought him out today on a nice hot day in Los Angeles. And they are definitely picking up the excitement of this Los Angeles Xtreme football team. We do have a flag down, though. Ref's talking about it.
Whoa, they go on the trap.
Don't understand the late call there, Bob. I mean, he threw the ball out. It's pretty clean. Did he break the plane around in terms of the touchdown? The ref didn't call it for several seconds.
If anything, there's going to be, it's going to have to be something, somebody maybe hitting after the play or something, because that play technically ended very quickly as soon as the ball.
Unsportsmanlike, number 51, defense. The touchdown is good.
Because the play ended.
Will be on the kickoff.
The play ended as soon as the ball broke the plane. Like I said, it had to be something extracurricular, and it was James Burgess, number 51. You can't blame a guy trying to do everything he can to keep the ball out, but once it crosses, it crosses.
LA 48 above the league average of 44%, near 50% on the conversion. Looking for the extra point. They're going to give it to the local guy, McCullough. Bounces once, twice. Burgess hit him first, and that slowed him down, and he does not get the extra point. So again, the punt return setting up the score. Mark Campbell made the hit to stop the extra point.
You got a timeout, Coach.
Now Luganville's Xtreme up on a 9-zip lead over the undefeated Orlando Rage.
And now the hit of the week is brought to you by Lugs, the boots and shoes with an attitude, because you never know what you might run into.
Instead of an He got the dirty dance on the backside of Casey Weldon.
That was the Lugs hit of the week, featuring the Lugs Frenzy. Be careful out there.
Back in Los Angeles, great to have you with us today as you look at Sean Stuckey out of Troy State. The linebackers not big on LA. Now Luganville says they're 4 good players. Would not call them outstanding. They work well together as a unit. So far, a great start for the Xtreme, trying to hand the Orlando Rage their first loss of the XFL campaign. Shea again, this time 5 yards deep. Out to the 10, he's not getting much beyond the 15. It was Stuckey, in fact, who made the play. Tim Walbert, our director, just all over the game plan here.
He saw that Lugs hit of the week commercial. He wanted to be, he wants to get a free set of shoes. He wants some Lugs shoes because remember this guy that came off at the start of the season with a torn ligament in his foot, and he's actually been recouping from that during the course of the season.
Let's go.
They caught him in college and running a 4.4. 4.41 in a 40, so he can flat out fly.
Considers himself shy, but actually worked not too long ago as a male exotic dancer in Miami. Gain of a few. Not something you generally associate with a tepid, shy individual.
No, but, and because of, he said he was shy, I figured he was doing, we needed the money for the family. That'll be some kind of excuse like that. He goes, it's actually kind of fun.
Over auto.
Something you ever tried yourself, Bob? Being a tough, studly defensive football player?
Just on Halloween.
Right call.
Hopefully not in a birthday suit. Final moments of the first quarter. Orlando's yet to get the offense going at all. Big tackle by Lamont Evans. He took the helmet off Keanu Burks. And do you think the Xtreme have sent a message to the Rage or what here in the first quarter? Wow.
So far this has been all about field position, and this defense is not going to let them get any yardage. Man, it's like I'm reliving my childhood. Love hearing this.
A bone cruncher by Lamont Evans. And who's the undefeated team out here? So far, LA making an impression on the 6-0 Rage.
And now, Burger King presents the XFL Offensive Player of the Week. In the land of burgers, Whopper is king. Memphis Maniacs quarterback Jim Druckenmiller went crazy on the Enforcers defense in a 29-23 win. Druckenmiller threw for an XFL record 413 yards and 3 touchdowns, including the game winner with just 20 seconds left. That was the Burger King XFL Offensive Player of the Week. In the land of burgers, Whopper is king.
The Druck had a big day.
That was last week.
But he lost last night.
Last night we got a little ugly.
Lost on the last play by the surging New York, New Jersey Hitmen, who are playing great for Rusty Tillman. We'll see him next week. Oh, Brom has just collapsed. Crunched. And I believe it was Lamont Evans again. That had been Juan Long who came in there. Long made the stop. Nice play.
Yeah, Juan Long, a guy plays, backs up a little bit at the middle linebacker position, but he's very active. Actually blitzed 2 guys from that slot. Only 1 guy got blocked. It's simple mathematics. You bring 2, you block 1. Somebody comes free.
Juan and my wife have a few things. Well, one thing in common. Shopaholic. Juan says he's a shopaholic. In fact, I think anybody can relate to that.
Right shoulder.
See the
Brom was
coming off. He was really hit. And
that arm just dangling.
Kind of a reminder of the hit that Weldon took. The shoulders. They're so vulnerable in those positions for the quarterback. Callow upon again. A flag is down. Going way back is Damon Gibson again in his own 23. Running out of some room. He's still found enough to get up to the 35. Burgess among the tacklers, but the concern right now for Orlando is that man Jeff Brom knocked out 2 weeks ago. Let's take a look again at the hit.
Take a look at this shot here when how he gets hit, how he lands on it. You see Long coming up from the left there. Comes down right on the shoulder. When you land on the shoulder like that, it jams it up. I'm not a quarterback, but I've actually had that happen. You jam it into the ground. It kind of compresses the joint. It can actually stun and kind of damage the nerves a little bit. And it also grinds that joint around. You can actually make it sublux, kind of pull out of the joint a little bit. Right now we can see them, their hands up inside there, trying to make sure that it's still in position.
You know, it's almost amazing that more quarterbacks, we've seen enough of them already, but don't take more injuries when you get these big, I mean, Juan Long is 245.
There's Brian Kuklik. He's the one who'll be stepping in if Jeff Brom cannot go their next series.
A guy that Galen Hall is very confident in, doesn't think he loses anything. As McCullough makes the catch out of the backfield for the game.
Juan Long, a heck of a stick on the quarterback. I think Jeff Brom might be out. Is that just tough defense, or were you looking to rip his head off?
This is the house of pain. I bring the pain.
So you were looking to rip his head off?
Most definitely, always, all game long.
And the crowd, which is privy to the broadcast, cheering Juan Long for his big hit on Jeff Brom.
You know, this LA offense so far, only 35 yards, but it's been field position and special team play that has gotten them the 9 points.
48! From the Damon Gibson show. Here's McCullough on the draw across the 45. Gained a couple of yards.
And there you see Kuklik on the sidelines.
You know, in a backup role a couple of weeks back after the injury to Brom first quarter, Kuklik went on to throw for 207 yards and a touchdown in that win against the Maniacs.
Yeah, Galen had nothing. We kind of, at the end of the interview with Galen, kind of threw it in there just in case and really had glowing comments to make about it.
Almost as if there's no difference at all between his starter and his number 2 guy. In motion is Rochelle on the circle motion. From wide open is McDonald, their big play receiver, and he gets inside the 40. Corey Gillard knocked him down. Gain of 13 yards.
Well, he's one of those receivers you like. At 6'3", he's one of the new breed of the tall guys that, and especially the XFL.
Let me ask you, Bob, about everybody's watching the guy in motion. It tends to open up to the other guy, huh?
Oh, without a doubt. They bring him in motion. He has the speed coming off the snap going upfield. Everybody's got to respect that. The guy dragging underneath, he's right there, usually wide open.
48 to be more of a fake most of the time on a man in motion than a weapon they would use to throw to that receiver. There's Damon Dunn, a speedy receiver, and he's thrown down very hard. Reggie Doster looking for a little payback, it appeared, off that one long hit and comment.
Not a pure suplex, but definitely had a little throw. There you see Jeff Brom had that. Gonna have to get him in and get a look at it. You see them fixing the sling. Keep that shoulder immobilized.
By that picture, that's it for him, at least for now. Without the game.
I don't see that you get any better.
2nd and 5. This time Wilcox is in motion, the big H-back. And McCullough's got the ball. He gets loose at the 25. Saladin McCullough putting his shoulder down. He's only 5'9", 195. He runs like he's 250, and he makes a big gain of 11. And a nice play by Maddox, too, Bob, under pressure with 3 rushes right at him. He dumped it off.
Yeah, really good control. That's one thing we talked about him earlier as being a field general. A lot of poise. He dumps it off there. But I'll tell you what McCullough lacks in size, he gains in leverage. You get a guy 5'9" coming in and popping you in the chest. There ain't a whole lot you can do to get down lower than him.
48! 48!
Here's McCullough again. Goes through the left tackle, gets near the 16-yard line. Well, let's head down to the sidelines. Kip Lewis on the Rage sidelines.
Jeff Brom, you're out with a shoulder separation. What happened on that play?
Just a good hit and separated my shoulder and bad break.
How frustrating is this for you?
Well, you know, you don't want to get hurt. You want to be able to play, and I'm not able to.
Probably going to be it for him. If they got him out of his pads and wrapped up like that, it's going to be a matter of the muscles start to tighten up, everything starts to swell.
Maddox pressured. He was hit hard and really crunched as well. And Maddox's helmet came off after Cedric Clark's connection. And, you know, one hit tends to lead to another. No flag.
He came right up. Clark came right up the middle. They ran a game inside, wide open, and nice pop on a guy. Just gotta take the helmet off. Let him know that you're there.
Bob, you played defense at the highest level, the Pro Bowl level. What kind of feeling you're a defensive player when you see the other team's defense knock out your quarterback?
Well, I mean, you always, as a defense, want to go out there and make hits. You want to go. It's not a whole lot of retribution, but right off the bat, you want to go and make the damage. You want to do the damage regardless of what the other team's done to you.
McCullough inside the 18, but you think human nature, Bob. You might give you that a little extra. You know, they knocked our guy out.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to put that extra smash up. No?
It's not as much as you see in baseball with pitchers throwing at guys.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a pride factor. If the defense is going to come and get your guy and take your guy down, then you got to go and get some retribution. You got to prove that you can make the big hits too.
The Xtreme will go with Cortez, who hit from 29 before. He's hit 11 of his last 12. This one from 31 yards. Got the shoes on again, and he nails it again, make it 12 out of 13 for Jose Cortez, who started out missing 3 of his first 5 this year. Now he's accounted for half of the dozen for the Xtreme.
Just hot.
The XFL on TNN is brought to you by Lugs, the boots and shoes with an attitude, since you never know what you might run into. Lugs, boots and shoes. By Pep Boys, cars like us, people love us. By Tomcats, a new film from Columbia Pictures, opens everywhere March 30th. And by Burger King. In the land of burgers, Whopper is king.
So Brian Kuklik getting ready to come on for the injured Jeff Brom. This will be his second significant action of the season. All those yards coming in the backup game we mentioned 2 weeks ago. And he led his team to victory, 21-19 over the Axe.
Got himself a strong arm. He can get the ball downfield, and he's got a lot of versatility. Like we were saying, nothing against Jeff Brom, but they feel they're not missing too much when Kuklik goes in.
Michael Black has it, a return of 15 yards to the 25, and Kuklik's going to have to go 75. And again, we talked about the hitting and intensity, and it continues here with a flag after the play.
68, Bob, loaded weights.
Feisty game.
Hey, Dave.
Coach, this is the best team in the XFL. You're spanking pretty good. You must be the best motivator in town.
Well, our guys are playing good right now. This has nothing to do with motivation. We're making plays, and this is a hell of a football team we're playing. This game ain't over. Don't think this one's over.
Well, Logan, Bill, let me hear Coach say, yeah, we're up. That's it. It's finished. Second quarter, 12-zip, done.
Yeah, yeah, I've never heard a coach say that. Yeah, we're kicking their butt.
Illegal low block on the returning team.
That was his own dog.
I think it was his own dog.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We didn't pick it up, huh?
On the Carolina?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were picked up. Crafty's guy just set a little soft, and he goes, why are you behind me?
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, you're talking about the 60?
I'm talking about the Carolina you threw out to Frank.
Yeah, we should have been picked up, but I got hit right in the mouth.
Yeah, I know you did. I know you did.
It was.
Frank had a step on him or so.
Well, it was going to be a completion.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, they just brought Will Mike, I think.
Yeah, okay.
So, Jerry, I think, took Solly's guy, and Solly didn't.
So you heard conversations between Tommy Maddox and his offense coordinator.
Prior to the snap, illegal contact, 94, defense, 5 yards. The down remains first.
Look at the play selection here for Orlando, and this may address the reason they're having some problems. Usually, they are, predominantly run. Close to 50-50, but predominantly run. Today, they've run very little. They've come out in 3- and 4-man wide receiver sets, trying to give them a different look. Every time they have run the ball, not every time, but they've gotten themselves into penalty situations quite a bit. Holding early on. Sean Love guilty a couple of times with Derek Clark kicking him some yardage. So they've really changed their game plan, the Rage have, in trying to throw a monkey wrench probably into the Extreme's defensive game plan. But what they've done is actually thrown a monkey wrench into their own game plan.
No surprise that Galen Hall likes to run it down your throat. But last week they had trouble running against Vegas. It was the first time they did not get 100 yards on the ground. 31 carries, 76 yards. And then they're not really relying on the run much today until this series. From their new quarterback, Kuplik, a handoff to Clark. No gain there.
You could.
Man, not only did they have good defensive play up front, but I couldn't make out who came off the corner. Late blitz off the right. I think it was number 20, Jeff Russell, came in late. Late blitz and just threw his helmet into the pile, cutting that run short.
Orlando just 1 out of 6 on third down in the ball game. Other head up Clark. Does he have speed to get outside? No, sir. Jamal Top ran him down. Death blow. The left in for the Extreme, getting out there to make the stop, and they're going to have to punt yet again.
They are just playing so good. They're taking some chances. Here they just get great run support on the right side of your screen. Everybody gets up. They force them back. If the running back can't get his shoulders turned downfield, he's not going to pick up yardage.
Even in front of you. Beg your pardon, Bob. That was second, so it is now a 3rd and long. 3rd and 16 for the Orlando Rage. And Kuplik may have to pass here for the first time of the game. In relief of the injured Brom, Kuplik back to throw over the middle, fires! And it's short of the receiver, Yalo Burks. Kuplik was knocked down, and the pressure, a major factor. Ritchie was in his face. The LA front four among the league leaders in sacks, and they're great with pressure too.
They are just, they're mixing it up. A lot of guys, a lot of good pass rushing up front. Hey, welcome, Mr. Kuplik. Thanks for joining us out here. They're getting good pressure up front. They're bringing the slot blitzing quite a bit to throw things kind of a monkey wrench in a little bit.
Here's Gibson at the 43, runs out of room. He's pushed out of bounds by Omar Brown. The last play, Dave Ritchie just owned the left tackle, Dan Collins, and that's been a big story. The men up front for the LA Extreme trying to land the first loss in the Rage today.
An explosive airstrike.
Touchdown, David!
A deadly ground attack.
Touchdown, Chicago!
The return of a top gun.
Look at him go! Look at him go!
The unfurling of a lethal weapon.
John Avery is not quick, he is sudden.
The San Francisco Demons head to historic Soldier Field to battle the Chicago Enforcers. The XFL, Sunday night on UPN.
Hi, my name's Kim, and I'm from Orange County, and I'm a massage therapist. And during the week,
My clients come to me feeling really stressed out with knots everywhere. What I love to do is really get in there into the neck and dig my fingers in and get all that stress out. When they leave me, they're feeling really relaxed and stress-free. But what I really love to do is cheer for the best team in the XFL, the Los Angeles Xtreme.
We're not done, are we?
I want to know how Lee gets jobs like that. Our own Lee Rariman getting involved. Oh, there he is.
Hey, Lee. Lee, how was that massage, Lee?
Oh, it's great, but it's not done yet. We're just getting warmed up.
I've seen your act in Orlando, Lee. You're finished.
We've all caught that out.
Well, ditched by almost every head coach in the league. I guess he deserves a little pampering. David Gibson's been the man again for the Xtreme. He's wide open at the 30, all the way down near the 20-yard line. Kelly Malvo took him down, and the fear from Luganville was the Orlando offense, but it turned out to be the other way around today at the Coliseum, gain of 26.
You know what the beauty of this play was? 3 guys set left. Quick throw the receiver. The other 2 receivers get blocked. They don't go throw those little wimpy receiver blocks. They went out and blocked their man and left him all by himself to pick up the yardage, to beat 1 man and pick up that 26 yards. Great job.
Gibson. Big numbers today. He's got it again. And look at his speed as he turns the corner. Gets to the 17. You know, last week, Bob, the Xtreme scored touchdowns on 3 of their first drives against Birmingham. And here today, they've scored on 3 of their first 4 against the alleged best team in the XFL, the Orlando Rage.
And you got to say, too,
let's go trip.
this has all been about special teams early on, but you're also seeing that they're playing great. This is probably the most complete game we've seen this LA team play.
This time it's McCullough in the backfield. He's dragged down. Solid defensive play by Sean Banks, who came up from his linebacker position. Flag is on the play.
I got to get him on the blitz, fella. What happened?
I don't know yet.
What happened over here?
Well, those flags came out late and came from the backfield, the defensive backfield.
We got 12 people. Okay, previous spot will go half the distance, right? Previous spot. Okay. 12 men on the field, defense, half the distance penalty, repeat, 2nd down.
Well, that's one way to stop an offense. If you're having trouble stopping a drive, throw an extra guy in there once in a while. Unless, of course, the ref catches you. There you see Sean Banks came up and made that last play. Love to give him all the credit for coming up and make that play. Orlando right now really killing themselves with penalties. 8 so far for a total of 76 yards.
LA just 1 penalty for 5 yards. That's been an offensive weapon. Rochelle's got it. Gain of about 4. Boy, was brought down by Kelly Malvo. Rochelle's been a favorite. You know what's funny is coming in, you were worried about Copeland defending the big receiver and Darnell McDonald among the top 2, but it's really been Rochelle and Gibson, the weapons for LA.
And it's all been, as they get the first down, it's all been about the quick throw, too. Anytime they've delayed things, whether it's been a run or a pass, you know, they have mixed results. The stuff where you're seeing the quick throws, the quick dumps, and leaving it to the wide receiver to pick up the yardage, they're seeing really good success.
Tommy Maddox calling for timeout. We'll take a break from the LA Coliseum. The Xtreme looking to punch it in again. They lead 12-0.
We got 3, so control. On 1, right?
Nice house on hand at the LA Coliseum, watching their Xtreme trying to punch it in again, making Orlando look like a very average team here today.
48!
Copeland's in motion, running to the left. Play action, he'll throw right. Nice play selection, looking for Leatherwood, but it's incomplete. And give Sean Banks some credit, the linebacker, did a pretty good job sticking with Leatherwood although everything was going the other way with a man in motion in the play action.
Well, the good thing for Sean Banks is that Frank Leatherwood is not one of those little scat backs. 260 pounds. He's somebody he definitely is not mismatched with.
Go! 48!
3 wide receivers set up.
48!
Bunch together.
Blitzing Maddox throws the quick fade pattern. McDonald got a hand on it. Doster on the coverage, but it was the Russian blitz of Orlando that forced Maddox's hand in the play.
Yeah, good coverage. The throw was off a little bit.
Bruin Storm. Bruin Storm. Same thing.
Maddox just saying, Bob, if we had a slant, we would have scored on that play.
48!
No doubt about it. They were singled up on that side, away from the bunch of receivers.
Now it's 3rd and goal. Maddox looking left. There's the slant. Touchdown, McDonald! You heard it. Reggie Doster's yelling at the ref. For some reason, he may have felt that McDonald pushed off on him at the line.
Billy, we're rolling it.
He's in his face.
Well, there's any amount of pushing and bumping along the way. It just can't be blatant, and it can't be used to make the catch. Looked like a clean slant to me. Like you said, they made the call. Hey, if we would have slammed, we would have had it. Here's just a quick slant. Wide open. Finally, we hear from McDonald. We're still here. Still waiting to hear from Jermaine Copeland. No catches yet today.
Go!
Yeah, we are big.
48!
For the conversion now and a 19-point lead. Maddox going to toss for it. Throwing it, it's knocked down, batted away. Incomplete. So both conversions really the lone highlights for the Rage here in the first half.
The most disappointing half of the season. Every goal line 18 zip.
Tommy Maddox, you guys are off to a great start. How good is it to have 2 great receivers to throw to in situations like that?
Well, it's great. You got 2 big targets down there, and they're playing well. We just got to keep it up. There's a long way to go in this game, and defense playing great, winning the game right now, so we just got to keep it up.
Looking like a true winning quarterback.
Well, look at that artistry right there. The fans of Los Angeles and certainly enjoying the XFL experience in person. And LA with good shape here as you look at the rest of the season, playing 3 today. Their 3rd of their final 4 games, all at home. They took 4 of their first 6 on the road. Impressive 4-2, and if they could come out today, there's still a long way to go. But if they can win this one at 5-2, they get 2 of their final 3 right here.
It's very interesting to see what the mindset of the Rage is right now, as they're down by a boatload.
It's Shea finding some room, but he can only bust out to about the 25. Ken Oxendine knocking him down. The story today is the play of Damon Gibson.
He has been all over the place. Started off today, we saw him as a returner, picking up the big yards and actually putting together the first 9 points of the game by giving them great field position. Later on, though, they give him the ball as a receiver, quick dump to him, let him do the work, let him make the moves, and let him make the defense miss. He has been all over the place. He's been the key to this Xtreme offense today.
Good game last week. The thought was, can he continue it? Inactive 3 of the first 4. Yes, he can.
Well,
150 combined yards today.
As a defense, when you're faced with good receivers, for instance, coming in, we knew
one Trey 960 212 YMAC on one. Hey.
We knew that there are good receivers like Jermaine Copeland, like Darnell McDonald, guys like that. When you expect to play against them, the other guys sometimes get overlooked.
Roger.
Now, you wonder if Orlando's going to start to open it up. Bailey in motion. Bailey gets the toss, skips by a tackler, dives to the 20. Good recovery by Ron Carpenter, the free safety, making his first start of the year for Al Luganville.
That was a sweet move by him. Getting up, it's like those drills they used to have us do in summer. It was like 110 degrees. Up, down, all those up, downs we had to do all the time.
960.
That's why, huh?
He makes that, so that's why. You never stay on the ground in football. You hit the ground, you get back up, you got a second shot at it.
He brought down a slippery guy in the speedy Mario Bailey. Kuklick trying to find some mo. He overthrew Skinny Culver. Skinny was a little larger. He might have been able to pull that one in.
When I was playing ball, remember in particular, missed. I'll tell you about it later.
All right. Promise? Back in a moment.
You want to play real football? My kind of football? Raw survival in the mud and snow. No domes, no fair catches, no phony grass. It's harsh, it's bruising, so it's beautiful. Think you're tough enough to play my kind of football? Then come and get it.
Introducing the official game ball of the XFL from Spalding. The toughest football ever.
Come on, Johnny. Oh, Johnny's mom is calling him.
At the 2-minute warning, this was billed by yours truly the best matchup of the year. Two first-place teams, but so far it's been all LA and Blue at home. The blitz on Kuklick. He fires it wide open, Culver, trying to find some room, but the receivers are having trouble getting around the cornerbacks, and Reggie Jordan knocked him out of bounds after a gain of 9.
Coach Galen Hall, you lose your starting quarterback. Your quarterbacks are taking a punishment. What do you do to get your offense going?
Well, we just got to go out and throw the ball quick. They're playing extremely well on us defensively. Offensively, they're playing well. We got hold of a hot team today. We just got to fight through this, come back second half, and hopefully come back and make game over.
Orlando's used to being down. They've been down in 4 of their 6 victories, 3 of them featuring fourth-quarter comebacks. But never down by this many to this good of a team. Skinny Culver at the 35. Took extra effort to get beyond the 40. Ronnie Parker, Ricky brought him down.
The one thing that's just amazing me about these guys, on both sides of the ball, wide receivers not afraid to stick their head in there. Not afraid to make a block.
Second and short. Hurry up offense for the Rage. Pass complete to Culver, just a short gain here. You have 3 timeouts remaining.
Well, with as much pressure that's coming from this LA defense,
combo,
both in the front and with blitzes, they're hoping that one of these quick passes will break. If you end up in one-on-one coverages, they're hoping somebody will beat it and they can break it for a long one.
Firing, look out, PigDog! Mollick Evans with a big hit earlier. He's at the 40, the 30. Is anybody going to get him? He keeps going and he brings it down to the 8-yard line. Vermont Evans from his safety role. 26-year-old out of Columbia, South Carolina with yet another big defensive play.
That couldn't have been played any better by a safety. If you want to know what a safety does, besides coming up and knocking the turnaround of running backs and run games, takes it over, just steps in front of the receiver. The corners in primary coverage. That safety's there to give him a little backup. Perfect timing is stepping up in front of that pass. Caught that ball in stride. You know, I'll tell you what, if he was just a hair quicker, he would have had that touchdown.
Blame the quarterback too, or just great defensive play?
The quarterback's got to see that guy making a move.
Yeah. 28! Wow, first and goal from the 8. Look out, another slam! Touchdown, LA! This time again, it's Darnell McDonald from the other side, an 8-yard scoring play, and the Xtreme are piling it on here at the Coliseum. Wow.
Well, if this is a look at the 2 best teams out there, then somebody's got Big Mo going. The other team has become very ordinary.
Quick strike, one play after the INT. Wow.
Once again, left side of your screen, as they have all day. Quick slant. Matter of fact, just like the last touchdown they had. Last time was a quick slant to the left. To the left side of McDonald, this time to the right.
Maddox for 2 passing touchdowns, 1 running touchdown. LA 0 for 2 in the conversion today. Copeland in motion. Copeland, the intended receiver, he's got it! And they got the extra point. And Jermaine Copeland.
We ain't gonna get it to the touchdown. They don't get it to the touchdown.
25-0. Come on! Now Louisville watching the interception.
Touchdown! If he wasn't wired down, he probably ran down there with him. There it is. There's a touchdown again. Quick slam. Beautifully executed to McDonald.
I mean, how do you cover that play? It's almost impossible.
Keep your focus now. The defenders were right on the ball.
Keep your focus.
As Galen Hall said, they've come up against a team that is really hot.
They caught a hot team. That is almost impossible. That kind of quick execution. Unless you jam them at the line.
There is no way to figure out the difference. What is the difference between a team that makes that catch and the team that doesn't make that catch? And that defender is so close and playing it so well. Sometimes they catch it, sometimes they don't. Today's the day that the Xtreme is just making all the catches.
You saw the smirk from Al Luganville is doing his best to keep it in here with half the game to go. But he could not have imagined this kind of start. When I was talking with him yesterday in his office, he just talked so much about the respect for the Orlando Rage and what they've done. And so far, it's been a dominating performance by the Xtreme. Jay again. Oh, hard, but bounces off of it and then taken down by Tinker Keck, who made the stop after the return of 26 yards.
What a run back by Brian Shea. He took that about 4 yards deep in the back of the end zone. Ouch. Well, here's the
0-60 smash. The pressure of coming in undefeated weighs on your shoulder?
Big time, because everybody's talking about it. Everybody wants to know about it. And when some team comes at you, and it feels like maybe they're going to break it.
Second.
Maybe they're going to break the streak. It's almost like a feeling of relief. This may be the best thing to happen for the Orlando Rage.
LA calling the timeout. They had too many men on the field, so they called the timeout. UPN action as the XFL continues on your Sports Sunday tonight. On UPN, it's San Francisco Demons at the Chicago Enforcers. The Demons now 3-3. The Enforcers have really been a hard luck team. Much better than a record led by one of the most exciting players in the XFL in John Avery, Chris Marlowe, Ryan Bosworth, and the crew from Soldier Field.
You know, the interesting thing this year, Craig, has been the teams that have developed their quarterbacks early, who've really started to shine early, are the teams that you're seeing at the top of the divisions. The guys like Chicago, Tim Lester, developing a little slower, getting better, but everything's on John Avery's shoulders in Chicago, and that makes it tough for him.
And McDougal taking over also at Chicago.
Roger! Go! Center!
Atlanta's going to try to, they can't get anywhere. Ruplik is stopped in the backfield.
What? Ramondo
Stallings
running in.
Ramondo out.
Right up the middle. Third sack today by the Los Angeles Xtreme. Stallings coming off the outside. McGee's coming off the defensive tackle position. He's got nowhere to go. Watch it. Right up the middle. Beautifully executed.
So Ramondo Stallings making a big play. You wonder at this point, if they're on 13, should they just kill the half?
Go!
No? 18 seconds to go.
They should go for him.
Just end it.
By handing the ball off there, I think they signal that that's about what they're going to do.
Matt Kenneally. That could be, folks, the best half of football by any team in the XFL this season. The LA Xtreme, who did it with all facets, with special teams, with offense, with defense. 25 points against the undefeated Rays.
Darnell McDonald, Jermaine Copeland. I tell you what, Darnell, did the offensive game plan favor you today, or are you just out there doing your business?
Oh, no, it never favors any of the receivers. It's just the quarterback drops back and looks for the open player, and he throws the ball, and hopefully we can make plays. And today I made two.
Now, Jermaine, we're going to see you in the second half. He's stealing your touchdowns and your end zone dance.
Oh, no, the X-Spot's still waiting to come out. Second half, please believe it.
The X-Spot is Copeland's reaction in the locker room after touchdowns.
Brian Kuklik, you guys are getting killed out there at the quarterback position. You already lost Jeff Brown. What's going on with your offense today?
I don't know. We need to just settle down and do what we do. We'll be fine.
You surprised right now? You guys a little shell shocked?
Yeah, they're playing tough, and you know, we got out of a rhythm, and we need to get back in it in the second half.
Well, they've been knocked out of their rhythm. A shocking first half of the Coliseum in front of a nice throng for the homestanding Xtreme. They lead it 25-0 at the half. Well, certainly many unique stories among the players and the different roads they have taken to the XFL. You know, it's only about 15 minutes on the 110 freeway as you look live at the Xtreme locker room. 15 minutes from the Coliseum from Pasadena. That's where Xtreme running back Saladin McCullough you're looking at right now, where he grew up and became one of the state's greatest high school running backs. He was considered a lock to follow in the cleat marks of the great names like Garrett, Simpson, Davis, White, and Allen, but a career at USC playing in the building right here did not work out. His journey to the Coliseum certainly had a few detours.
When people say my name, I know they probably think as a bad person, cancer to the team, but when they hear Saladin McCullough, I want them to think an excellent football player, and he always leaves it all out on the field. You know, I received letters from all over the country, but the first letter I ever received was when I was in the 10th grade playing varsity. It was a USC letter, and that's what I was waiting for. My dream was to be the next Heisman Trophy candidate at USC. I felt if I went there, I probably could have run it at least 2, maybe 3 times, I feel. When you do bad things, you get a lot of press. I went to jail and they let me out, no charges or nothing. It was a big misunderstanding. It wasn't no write-up that said that. It was already a write-up that said McCullough was caught in a stolen car. They didn't know that, oh, it was a misunderstanding. It wasn't no stolen car. This was my buddy, got the car from his girlfriend's, and it was her dad.
McCullough sprints to the right. McCullough touchdown!
Every team I went to, they asked me was, are you involved in any gangs or something? So I was like, well, I mean, where does this come from?
Oh yeah, baby, that's another one.
Okay, I grew up in a gang area, but you know, I always played sports growing up, and I never was into nothing like that. It's been kind of hard on my mom. She thinks the world of me. Whatever I do, and if anything happens, then I'm pointed as just a terrible person. I have no upbringing or nothing. My mom raised me well to respect people, and she always tell me, you know, you're a very strong person. I named you Saladin for a reason. It means warrior, so you got to stick in there and make it through these tough times. Really, all I'm looking for is somebody to give me the opportunity to come in and better their football team. You know, through my life in certain situations, you know, I've probably been at the wrong place at the wrong time, but, you know, given this opportunity to play for the XFL, I'm in the right place at the right time, and I'm going to make the most of my opportunity.
Let's see what they do on third down. They'll try Bostic again, and he fumbled the football! It's picked up by Jamel Williams. There he goes. He's only got Jay Parker to beat. One move, and there goes Jamel Williams.
Listen, deuce right, full reach on 3. Ready?
Second and goal. Clement with time once again. He hangs it into the corner. Touchdown, Vegas. Tom Floyd in the corner.
Green 85, John.
They bring the blitz. Clement gets it off. Slowing the cornerback. There he goes. This game don't show my breakaway speed. Birmingham recovers. This is an 18-yard chip shot to tie it. Right up the middle. It's a free ball at the 38-yard line as Paul McCallum's on to punt it. It's a free ball, and Vegas looks like they recovered. Play action to Snell. There's Ricky Brady again. Touchdown Outlaw. Vegas back on top.
And the wheels are coming off Birmingham.
Antonio Edwards with his second fumble recovery this year. Play action to Ben Snell, rolling. Yo Murphy wide open, touchdown. And Vegas has started to open things up.
We got a victory. The O-line played great. The D played great. Everybody played well enough to win. I think it's going to be a happy locker room.
Third and goal on the 5. Big play.
Druckenmiller.
Wide open.
Mark Thomas, the tight end, running free and wide open. Oh, look out. The quick pitch. Moss has got room.
What the heck?
Up the sideline. Oh, what a hard hit. But a big gain by tailback Brent Moss. Druckenmiller throwing the ball. Touchdown. Touchdown to Darrell Hobbs. First and goal, actually. Ball will be placed at the 9-yard line of Memphis. Wally rolling left, looking to throw the inside. Oh, all right. Touchdown, New York. Zola Davis. This is a $100,000 play. Wally back to throw. The pass. Oh, he got it. Touchdown. The Zola Davis. Zola Davis with a $100,000 catch. And New York about to win their first game at home. A big win for the Hitmen last night, and here today a shocker. The LA Xtreme 25-zip over Orlando at the half. Moments ago, we head now to the Xtreme locker room.
First downs, get it down there, get the field turned around, get points. Okay? Now on defense, we got to continue to tackle well in the open field.
Al Luganville talking to his troops.
So tackle well, no yards after a catch. Kicking game, let's get it in the end zone.
Come on, baby.
Let's get it in the end zone right now. Let's go.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Let's get a team in here. Come on, let's go. 1, 2, 3. Team. Come on, baby. Stay focused.
Well, you can feel it from that guy, Al Luganville, 55 years of age. We're back upstairs here at the Coliseum. Craig Bettavini with Bob Golick, and talking to Al yesterday. He just loves coaching these guys. He calls them all free agents, no egos that he has to deal with, and he loves working with a bunch of guys like he has.
But you know the beauty of this is coaches are never satisfied. He goes out there and says, hey, the kicking game is still score one. And they've done everything except score one so far. So it's kind of like they're never really satisfied with what's happened. Take it to the next level, and that's how they keep getting better. We saw a tremendous field position set up by the Los Angeles special teams.
Maddox had the touchdown to make it 9-0. Defense played well in that first half.
Jeff Brom, one of the big factors here. We'll wait and see how it fleshes out with Kukla taking over, but certainly the guy who was their leader, gone.
Maddox with 2 strikes, both on slants that he saw. The play before that, both to McDonald. That one second quarter, then after the pick, right here, set up yet another.
Nice job stepping in front. Interception, bringing it down, putting the LA Xtreme in position for one more score. And again, that slant to McDonald, this time to the right side.
25-zip, and the look at the halftime stats brought to you by Miller Genuine Draft. The score is unbelievable when you consider that Orlando came in at 6-0. Now the numbers itself, 21 rushing yards, not much of a difference there, the total yards, but I think the penalties are key.
But look at the other thing, too. Look at the time of possession, and this really addresses the idea that the Xtreme have been in good field position thanks to their special team. 22 minutes, the Rage have had the ball. They've been able to do no points with it. Only 12 minutes, 13 minutes for the Xtreme, but yet 25 points they put on.
Addresses the other notion that the time of possession is not a big factor all the time. Well, the presidents are here at the game. Everybody's here.
Well, you knew as soon as the weather got nice that I'll show up. We're not sure who that is. I actually don't want to know.
Maybe the next candidate, perhaps?
But, it really ends itself, too. If you look at the total amount of yards that the Xtreme have, what is it, 134? Is that what the total? And 25 points. I mean, everything doesn't jive up. This is something where you can look at those stats the next morning and say, man, they must have been in great field position. And yes, their special teams must have done something like they certainly have today.
Damon Gibson, he'll show up in your morning paper tomorrow. He's had a huge game, brings it back to the 23 to add insult to injury for the Rage. The LA starts off with the ball here and a chance to add to more scoring.
And some more big hits. So far today, we've seen them all, baby. Craig, I spent a lot of time down in the trenches, down in those situations, hearing that all the time. But I'm telling you what, there were some lucky people watching this game being able to hear what it's like down there.
And not have to feel it. Jermaine Copeland for a couple of yards for L.A. That's his first grab other than the conversion. Orlando's biggest deficit of the year. L.A. allowing only 18 second-half points. In fact, last week they allowed 23 in the first half and just a field goal in the second half. They've been very good, especially of late.
Oh, we got a problem. We got a flag down, which is going to be holding right off the bat against that LA Xtreme.
Repeat, first down.
As we talked about the positives for the Xtreme in the first half, one of the negatives for the Orlando Rage in the first half had to be its penalties. 9 penalties, 88 yards, and it really has put them in bad situations. And that coupled with the field position the special teams gave the Xtreme, they have just not been in a position to do anything good.
LA Xtreme started the year with a tough loss at San Francisco, then won a couple, had to win in overtime against Chicago very easily, could have been 0-2. Everything started with that big win at Las Vegas. They've won 3 of their last 4, as Gibson has it again at the 20-yard line. A gain of 5.
Ricky Bell coming up very quickly, making the hit as the receiver didn't even put the feet on the ground. They're going to have to play more aggressively defensively. They're going to have to play for turnovers. You're going to start seeing this Rage defense playing for turnovers, making a pick, forcing a ball, putting a ball to the ground.
Galen sweating a little bit in the California sun. This team has taken the ball away 11 times this year. About the middle of the pack. That's not great numbers. He'd like to see that increase as McCullough gets it. And Saladin over the 25 to the 27. We just got a nice look at Saladin. How he has battled back. His brother, Sultan, is the starting tailback at USC, something Saladin wanted. But, you know, sometimes things do come around a bit. It seems to be happening that for Mr. McCullough now.
Without a doubt today, he's getting some yardage, but he's working it out. He's getting the first downs. He's helped out in that situation a couple of times. Certainly a little bit less than last week's performance, but he'll still be a factor.
Throw wide open to McDonald. They keep going and going, and the big play, they connect again. Darnell McDonald.
Wide open backfield. They knew it was a pass. He got him a step or two on Stephen Fisher. The ball thrown nicely, and McDonald knows where to turn, knows how to get the extra yardage. As Fisher tries to recover on that one.
A gain of 18 for Darnell McDonald, who also has 2 touchdowns with those numbers you see. Orlando Rage averaging 26 points a game this year. Number 1 in the XFL, shut out so far here at the Coliseum, and again, flags are down.
Well, you know, some people are going to look at it and say, well, they lost Brom. But
5 yards.
You know, Brom was there in the beginning. They did nothing with Brom.
They've been coughing and stuttering and stumbling all game long.
We've actually, I've actually been sitting there trying to find an excuse for them. You know, is it the warm weather? Not from Orlando. There's no excuse. They're just having one of those bad days that they're going to have to fight their butts off to get themselves out of.
48!
Blitz coming from Burgess, and Leatherwood's got it the H-back, and he's taken down by Cedric Clark. LA's been able to avoid the plays against them, turning the ball over, those kind of things. Even under pressure, they're not giving the ball away.
And you want to know what they're doing well? They're working at levels, too, in the passing game. They're throwing those short ones, forcing the linebackers and the safeties to come up and react quickly to come make the play. Then after they hit a couple of those, they move down 10 yards, 10, 12 yards. They run a slant. They do something, a crossing pattern, something to force these guys to have to react back again. They're really mixing the passes up nicely.
And unlike L.A., Bob, Orlando not known for their good pressure up front as they stop McCullough after a very short gain. Ricky Bell got him, gain of a couple of yards on the play.
Well, I'll tell you, as a player from the side of the Rage.
Damn, it was one man.
I've been in games like that where I've just sat there going, this is supposed to be happening. And it's confusing. And I'll tell you what, finger pointing starts happening. And you want to be able to find out what it is. So you start blaming everybody. You start looking around going, who the hell is it? It's up to the coach to try and keep it focused and say, hey, keep this team together.
48!
Maddox That was incomplete. He was looking for Gibson on the slant. And even up 25-zip, you hear Maddox, you hear the grunts as if it's a scoreless game.
Exactly. Well, these guys are going to give that up. They're going to play. The teams that play soft when they're ahead, those are the teams that are going to lose more often than not, even with a 25-point lead. And I'll tell you what, if I had a coach that did that, it's ugly when they just kind of sit on the lead. No way the LA is going to do that.
Jose Cortez, the punt. Skinny Culver's all the way back at his own 8. Of course, as you know by now, you have to return the punts. Can't let him go, even if you are near the goal line. Although that time at the 1, he could have let it go 1 yard deep, but he stopped at the 3. And that is how it's gone for the Orlando Rage. Eric Johnson made the stop on a play that, yes, if you look at it from our seat, easy to say let it go in the end zone. It's a touchback, but when you're right around the 1 or goal line, you can't let it go if it takes a bad bounce.
And you talked to him about the fact before that the Xtreme believes in how important the special teams are and that they have a separate kicker and punter. There you're talking about a 54-yard kick that drove them back into the end zone. You're not going to see that. A lot of these teams, you're just hoping for the best. You're hoping for mid-30s out of your kicker/punter.
Fontaine averaging 44 a punt coming in.
Go!
So again, in case you're just joining us, Brom knocked out with a shoulder separation early. Kuplikon fires to Bailey. He got it near the 10-yard line.
I'm with Jonathan Ogden of the Super Bowl champion Baltimore Ravens. This is your first XFL game. What's your impression so far?
Oh, man, it's great. You know, it's a lot of guys out here playing hard, going out doing their thing, and it's great for the guys, great for the city of L.A., great for everybody.
Are you looking forward to putting that ring on your finger?
No doubt about it, man. As soon as I get it, as I'm showing it to everybody. Everybody's been asking me that.
I think Vince McMahon wants to know how much he has to pay you to get you in this league.
Vince has enough money. I don't think he's willing to shell it out.
Burks gets up to the 25-yard line. Right now, the Rage are saying, hey, let's go for that $100,000 bonus and try and battle back into this game. You know, Jeff Russell knocked him out.
Jonathan Ogden brings up a point in that you see that one of the things that is slow to develop sometimes is your offensive line. They have to develop a chemistry. They have to be able to know what their blocking schemes are, what the calls are, and be able to trust each other. With a smaller roster, you start to get injuries, you bring in other people in, it's tough to maintain any kind of chemistry in an offensive line, which puts those quarterbacks in jeopardy.
Locke's got it up near the 28-yard line. Talking about the dollars that the players make, the average weekly checks in the league, well, the highest has gone, of course, to the Orlando Rage, who have cashed the $100,000 bonus 6 times for an extra $600,000. Not a bad average weekly paycheck for the Rage. The Enforcers with just 1 victory, down around 4,400. Bob, it's been well known about throughout the nation. I just wanted to ask you about this too. Is the national coverage has been pretty weak for the XFL. Not really disrespectful to the players. But when we've talked to the NFL guys, and a lot of them have come out, you can see the respect that they have for the athletes on the field. The guys who are at the top of their profession really appreciate these guys who are knocking on the door.
And you know what? It's amazing. To a man from day one. Remember the first game of the season? Tony Siragusa was there.
Snap.
Just played the Super Bowl.
5 yards. And the down remains second.
The media sometimes becomes. Some of these guys forget that it's about reporting the news, not making the news, or deciding what they should talk about. They should report whatever sport's out there and just give it its due.
They're going cover 2
NFL
now.
guys, they see this as football players. They can see the hitting, they can hear the hitting, and they know that these guys are just like them. In another life, they're just like them, going out there playing something they love to play.
Many of them were them until victims of the salary cap as well.
Although I was going to say, if you take all those weekly salary averages from all those teams and add them together, I think you might get Jonathan Ogden's salary. I'm not sure.
Y'all ready to ride?
You got a tight end, coach? Okay, all right. You're right. My fault.
Al Luganville
admitting it's his fault. You don't hear that often. I never did.
He's been a winner at every level he's been at. Coach of the year, junior college in 77. He was the WAC Coach of the Year at San Diego State. NFL Europe Coach of the Year in 95.
Go! Center!
Over the middle, and Mario Bailey is hammered by Ricky Parker in a late flag. And I mean way late. maybe as late as the hit from the referee in the backfield of the LA Xtreme.
I think it was Jeff Russell.
Yeah, I thought it was Parker, but
it might have been. I think it was Ricky Parker.
Come on!
The flag here is that the defender Parker.
He's standing right there. You're standing right there.
The defender didn't even play the ball. The defender Parker could have made a play for the ball, could have even maybe intercepted the ball, but his intent was only to hit the receiver. Watch this again. Oh, no intent to make the play for the ball. And any referee is going to say, hey, I'll let you do a number of things if you're trying to get the football. If you're just out there headhunting, I'm going to throw something.
We talked about the competitive spirit. It comes from the coaches, too, no matter what the score is. What score? Skinny Culver trying to break loose. The ball is left free. Parker, maybe the look and bill argument might work there, as there's a flag on the play. Looks like he's going to call him down.
Referee still calling down, giving it to Orlando.
On my side, and the back moved.
2, illegal shift. Okay.
Flag anyhow. On the backfield, the illegal shift against the Orlando Rage. So it just gets worse for the Rage.
Exactly. We've talked about the penalties in the first half. We talked about Brom getting hit. Here's the play that he was taken out. The hit, one long, came up on a blitz on the inside. Nowhere really for Jeff Brom to go. He took the hit, and the damage came when he landed on the shoulder.
speed on one.
So Brom knocked out early in the first half.
And we saw him pretty quickly, too. He was in they had him in the sling. There's no way they're going to try and get him back in.
They say knocked out, meaning knocked out of the game. Unlike 2 weeks ago when he was literally knocked out by Shante Carver for a while. Bailey's got it. Nice gain by Kuklik up to about the 42. The Orlando Rage, if nothing else, and Bob, as you know, this could be a preview of the big game at the end if things fall out down the way like many think they will. So they're trying to make some kind of impression as well, whether they win this game or not against the Xtreme. And certainly if you look at the clock, there's enough time to come back as well.
I'll tell you what, too, if this comes down to these two teams at the end, one team's going to be looking at the film and the other one's going to burn it and say, we're not going to do that game plan at all.
Kuklik.
Good blitz.
The screen off the blitz. Derek Clark's got a lot of room. 20, 15, Clark down to the 5 to the 4-yard line. Nice play by Kuklik, as finally with the pressure, he sort of pulled a Tommy Maddox there. He found his outlet in the running back for a big gain of 38.
Sure did, and I'll tell you what, there was some great blocking also downfield. That blitz came up the middle to take him out. But these guys, he got the motion going, got going downfield. I think it was Dalio Burks downfield blocking on him. Look at that there. He was locked up, and I'm telling you, I can't be any more impressed with the blocking of the wide receivers on both sides of the ball. They locked up just like any other offensive guy. No prima donnas in that wide receiving corps.
Second time inside the 50, deepest penetration by far for the Rage of the game. Michael Black, I don't think so. Dave Ritchie, who's having a huge game, monster game, stepped up and made the play. The 27-year-old out of Washington, where he was a star for the Huskies.
You know, he is excited. We told you he's coming off an injury, a knee injury, a medial collateral ligament, 4 weeks out, just coming back, never been hurt before, and he told me, he goes, I don't know how to deal with it. He goes, I was jogging and I felt okay, so I figured, well, why can't I run? So I started running and I go, ooh, that's why.
Talked about guys who've been there. Ritchie, a 2-time Super Bowl winner with 5 tackles so far today.
All right. The XFL on TNN is brought to you by Buell American Motorcycles. To win one, visit XFL.com. By 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls. By the motor oil that provides maximum protection. Castrol GTX. Drive hard. And by Starburst Fruit Twists. Come take a nibble and twist up the juice.
Well, the LA Xtreme, as those of you in the sports books in Vegas watching know, a 1.5-point favorite coming in. They're up by 25 over the undefeated Orlando Rage, who are trying to knock one in here and chip back and get back. Still in the third quarter, time remaining for the Rage.
Actually, only their second time inside of the Xtreme side of the field.
Fade pattern. Oh, it's intercepted, I believe. Intercepted by Dale McGee. He ripped it away from Burks. flag down in the return as McGee gets up to the 42. He's punched out of bounds. Look out! Right on the sidelines in front of the Rage bench. There could have been another flag thrown for that. Burks making an inside move, but Del McGee wanted it more. A1. Childhood friends gave him the name because the best sauce on a steak, he says, is A1, and he was the best in high school at all the sports. He played 3 of them.
Well, look at that. Deepest possession. There it is. Steals it away. McGee taking it back. Good return. Blocked on that. Really good position. Just gotten in. That's what we talked about, playing the ball and not the man. He had position on the receiver, and he just, all he had to do is slow up a little bit for that ball to come right to him.
Burks was trying to get around McGee, but he couldn't do it. It was a clip to bring it back to the 10, but again, the Xtreme D comes up with a big play. Well, an angle you will only see in the XFL with the huge Tron board in the end zone, not only for the fans, but the players and coaches as well. Watch the coach, Al Luganville, watch the play here, and listen to him.
Oh, intercepted! Go, Dale, go!
Al Luganville spent his last 6 years.
Drop. He's got
NFL Europe.
You know, Craig, when you talk to him sometimes, he seems kind of laid back, but the more you talk to him and you get into like important subjects, the intensity, you can just feel it.
McCullough for a couple of yards. He just loves, he said, in fact, he's been a coach for a long time. 16th season as a head coach. He's coached at virtually every level you can imagine. Never had a better experience, no matter what happens, how long his tenure is, said he never had a better experience coaching than this year with the LA Xtreme. That was off camera.
This is a team that has, you get them 3 scores and
because, you know, it goes around with everybody, and I think the coaches are feeling the same thing that the players are feeling. That the best man's playing, that the guys are getting their shot. There isn't, you know, they're not dealing with the egos, they're not dealing with the...
Maddox looked away and gets Copeland.
Look at this.
He looked at McCullough and found Copeland, and the Xtreme keep on going up to the 48. Big gainer for Copeland.
Let me go! And Copeland told us at halftime that we'd see his dance.
Only if he scored a touchdown, I believe.
I know. Check it out. Gonna throw it to everybody else. Copeland's turn. Jermaine Copeland. And here's the why they were covering him so heavily in the first half, and other receivers were getting the benefit that other guys like Damon Gibson making the catches, because once he catches, his yard after the catch is very, very high.
McCullough for a couple as Copeland set up the series here for LA, the star out of Tennessee. McCullough not having the monster day that he would have liked, but contributing. And most importantly, his team's winning.
That's right. And you know what? And you know what that Copeland catch did? Once again, it put LA in a position where they're in a good field position. And Orlando, even if the ball's got to go back to Orlando will be in a horrible field position.
Up by 25, they go 5 wide and throw incomplete. How about that?
How do you have 5 wide receivers and miss one?
Maddox tried.
Should be able to close your eyes and throw it. Hits up one of them.
Don't cry. The keeper Wake up. Not finding the other jersey.
That's right.
Like Orlando has today.
Let's go empty. 50, Georgia, Ohio. 1-1, right?
Go up, Jet 2. Right.
The view for Tommy Maddox, not only of the defense, he's going to make sure to not get caught up in one of the great sights in all of football, the backdrop of the LA Coliseum built in 1923. Maddox fighting room, fires it, got his man again. Another first down, Jermaine Copeland, all the way down inside the 40, and yes, it's a first down for the energetic 6'1", 200-pounder out of Harryville, Tennessee.
Well, the Orlando Rage made their adjustments at halftime. They said, listen, the first half, David Gibson killed us. Latario Rochelle killed us.
45.
These guys, we can't let them kill them anymore. We're going to go cover them. Well, now, these guys wide open. Oh, yeah, look at that. Open receiver underneath. But they're looking to get downfield, score more points.
48.
Like Coach Luganville said, get more points on the board.
McCullough trying to ground it out on the ground.
Gets a gain of 4 to the 36.
Coach, you got a big lead. The XFL seems to be a wasteland for quarterbacks. Why leave Tommy Maddox in there right now?
Well, it's still a football game. I mean, we'll make that change when we feel that it's ready to do it. Tommy Maddox is playing well right now. This game's not over yet.
Well, Jeff Brom's on a gurney right now. Don't you think you might want to give this guy a little bit of a rest?
Well, we'll see.
Maddox and he's had perhaps the best year of all the quarterbacks. He is a tighty, 18 out of 24 for nearly 200 yards and 2 touchdowns, no interceptions again for the 3rd straight game. Here's McCullough off the draw. Out of the 26, he hangs on to the ball. Clock keeps ticking now. 40 seconds left, 3rd quarter.
You know, it's good to know that our Lee Rerman really cares. He cares about those quarterbacks.
Let's go empty. 50, Pennsylvania, Chicago change. On one, right?
Maddox beat out the top selection of all in the XFL inaugural draft, Scott Milanovich, the backup. He was the #1 pick. Gets in for a couple. Corey Gilliard came up from his spot at strong safety as the 3rd quarter comes to an end. And the talking continues. Scott Milanovich hoping for his first shot of the season. It likely will come
on the kickoff
in the 4th quarter.
You hit him pretty good.
LA Xtreme. That says it all here at the Coliseum.
And now, Burger King presents the XFL Defensive Player of the Week. In the land of burgers, Whopper is king. New York, New Jersey hitman safety Brad Trout played a key part of a stingy defense that held the Demons to under 200 yards passing. Trout had 6 tackles and the key interception late in the game to give the hitmen an upset win over the Demons. That was the Burger King XFL Defensive Player of the Week. In the land of burgers, Whopper is king.
And the team's not bad either. That's bad enjoying the action today is the Xtreme leading 9-zip after the 1st quarter. A touchdown by Maddox, a field goal by Cortez. Broken open 2nd quarter, a field goal by Cortez, and then 2 passes by Maddox, both to McDonald. One set up by an interception late in the 2nd quarter. 25-zip, shutting out the undefeated Rays, who were the top scoring team coming in.
Yeah.
Go!
Once again, the Xtreme going with, brought him to the dance. 4 wides.
And they're blitzing Maddox, who picks the receiver. Oh, a great catch by Darnell McDonald, but a flag is down on the man-to-man coverage. Maddox, so smart. Well, he found the coverage.
Exactly, and this is what they did. To his left, the bottom of the screen, they grouped 3 wide receivers in a bunch.
Pass interference defense, 35.
First down, 3 wide receivers, leaving McDonald one-on-one on top. Stephen Fisher one-on-one with McDonald. When you're at one-on-one, a couple things can happen. 1, you can make the catch. 2, you get the interference, which is just about good enough. That's close.
A little iffy.
Both going up for the ball.
It's not iffy.
12 penalty for the Rays right now. This is just, and that one, like we said, a little bit iffy, but still, when it rains, it pours.
That will make the coaching staff maybe use the bags on the airplane flight home. That's really a horrible stat for their team. McCullough, yes! Travel.Jack McCullough is back home, and he's in the end zone he dreamed about for his entire life. Pasadena wanted to go to USC, didn't work out. He was injured while at Oregon when they played their lone game here at the Coliseum. And finally,
it wasn't big, it wasn't fancy, but it was power, it was leverage. He knew where the end zone was. I'll tell you what, you talk about a guy, you hear the term, got a nose for the end zone. He saw it there, man. He was just dragging people.
Let's go deuce tough Y, Rocket Florida
3
special.
long yards that took a lifetime to get for Travel.Jack McCullough. Touchdown for the Xtreme. Go! You'd think this would be the last series for Maddox of the day, but you never know. Luganville probably thinks it's even a tighter game now at 31-zip. Copeland in motion, some fancy moves. No. Deflected.
Well, that was a 10-play, 79-yard drive.
Good cover. I want to make sure you're healthy, okay? Don't look at me like that. All right? You're hurt a little.
My name's Marie, and I spent my whole life in Indiana, where it's flat, cold, and conservative. Then about a year ago, I got an opportunity to teach out here in LA. A part of me always wanted to be near the ocean, on the beach. My friends were shocked. They thought it was way too big a change. You know what I told them? Every once in a while, we all need to do something a little extreme.
There she is, former Miss Indiana, Marie, elementary school teacher in Anaheim, California, working on her master's degree as well. And talk about something extreme. I mean, you never would have thought this. 31 zip, LA.
Unbelievable. Not so much that the Extreme were able to get it, but the Rage gave it.
Brian Shea at the 20 has been unable to really get loose, just like his teammates today.
Jeff, you left the game in the first half with separated shoulder. Any idea how long you're going to be sidelined?
Well, it's kind of unforsure right now. I would probably guess 3 or 4 weeks, but it's hard to tell.
So there's a chance you could be back for the playoffs?
Possible.
Week 7 of the XFL, just 3 weeks to go after this. And in case you're not aware, the divisions each with 4 teams. The top 2 teams in the East, the top 2 in the West will meet. And they actually go across the divisions. Number 2 East playing number 1 West. Number 2 West playing number 1 East. In the first round of the playoffs, setting up the big game at the end. 3rd week of April as Bailey is taken down. Right now, even if Orlando loses this, Bob, they would look at something like 6-1. And New York would be 3 back. New York plays them next week. It could be a long shot still, but if they had been were to pull off the game we have next week right here.
One trade, 962 on 2
Orlando, they could pull within 2 of Orlando for first with 3 games to go.
That's right. And again, but the one thing too, I mean, it's a short season. We're talking 10 games. So, you got to get it while you can get it, and you can't afford to slack off at all at the end.
Oh, come on, guys.
Kuklik with a gainer to Skinny Culver. A nice pickup down to the 41-yard line. Even with the score, had the Rage not made the critical mistakes, particularly the turnovers. One in the end zone and cashed in there and not gave away really a touchdown at the end of the second quarter. They'll still be in the game.
Well, it's not even just the turnover, but the mistakes, the penalties, and we're talking, 11, 12 penalties now, and this has just kept them from keeping drives going. We saw at halftime that they dominated time of possession, but if you have the ball, they can't do anything with it. It doesn't do anything good. It's nothing.
Rage did catch the fortune of getting both San Francisco and Las Vegas at home this year. The only road games they've played were at Memphis and at New York. So the schedule has been favorable. 4 of their first 6 were at home. They had to come back in 4 of 6, and they were the first ones to admit to us yesterday, talking to them, Bob, that they weren't overplaying the 6-0 because they haven't been dominant despite a dominating record.
Exactly. They've been winning the games, but it's not like they've just been blowing people out, which is fine. I mean, you don't want to see...
Take the win.
Exactly. And these guys have just... They've fought along. They've got talent on that team. There's no doubt about it. We're just not seeing it today. For some reason... They went to a passing attack early instead of staying with the
Don't let me get too many of them.
Derek Clark had been with other running backs, had been the heart of that offense. Getting it going, setting the run, working the pass off of that. Today has been all pass. Really going out of their normal game plan. Today, Derek Clark, 5 carries, 11 yards. I believe on 2 of those carries they were called back with penalties and holding. So really has been way out of their normal game plan.
Kuklik looking to fire, got a man open, he's got it. Diallo Burks inside the 5, down to the 3 for the Rage, who certainly don't want to be shut out if nothing else here this afternoon.
Man, now that was a hell of a throw and catch. No doubt about it. That was a hell of a throw and a catch. Watch how the ball goes in there. He throws it to the outside shoulder, right over that outside shoulder, man. You really got to thread it in there to make that catch.
0-14 on one. Hey. Diallo Burks got his name, his mother, pregnant, so I contested on the TV game show. Remember the Joker's Wild? There was somebody named Diallo, and that's how he got his first name. Meanwhile, Mollick for a touchdown, diving in. He's got a touchdown rage. So Brian Kuklik, finally for the Rage, tasting the end zone, and Orlando is on the board.
Well, they've certainly got a stigma to live up to, and that's letting the LA beat them up the way they did today, but at least they didn't give him the shutout. The naked boot off the fake, wide open. Kuklik,
0-9-69, 3-9 angle.
Going for it all by himself.
10 minutes remaining. As the Rage still thinking about firing back. Not impossible. It's been done before. Kuklik fires flag down. Before way over the head of Kevin Swain. And you know, on that play, if you're beat as a defender, why not?
Okay. Yep. 29.
It was Ricky Parker was in the way, just standing in the way.
Pass interference defense. 29. The ball will be placed on the 1 yard line. Repay the try.
It's only a difference of 1 yard. For 1 point, they still got to go for it anyway.
Still got to go for it anyway. But,
Slant against Delta, the inside guy's got to go to the slant.
Huh?
Right?
Al Luganville is not thinking about his dinner plans. He's still very much concerned about what is going on.
Go!
This time a handoff, and the running game hasn't gone anywhere today, and it doesn't there. Matt Kennelly makes the stop for LA, so it remains 31-6.
14.
Now, if you're thinking at all about staying in the game, you got to be thinking onside kick. We'll see if it happens when we come back.
The XFL on TNN is brought to you by cold-filtered Miller Genuine Draft. Never miss a genuine opportunity. By Say It Isn't So, from the guys that gave you There's Something About Mary, Friday. And by Burger King. In the land of burgers, Whopper is king.
Back in beautiful Los Angeles, an absolutely spectacular weekend. I think they took the weather we had last week in San Francisco and threw it down here. And you live there. You've had a lot of rain lately on the weekend.
You know, I'm surprised there's so many people out. I figured they'd be out at the beaches or something. They've been raining every week in Southern California. Hey. Finally, it's a sign of spring, but I guess a sign of spring now in Los Angeles is extreme football.
Well, they got the word, that's for sure. The XFL in town, and they've made it a part of their Sports Sunday. Catch a game near you. Damon Dunn on the return and did kick it. Dern turning the corner. Dunn's got some room at the 40. And knocked out of the 42. Why wouldn't you try an onside kick there?
Yeah, because there's still a lot of time left. I mean, this isn't.
Not if you don't kick it. If you want to win,
all you have to do, if you can stop them, you don't want to put the Extreme first off in a position of good field position again. It's all been bad field position for the Rage. If you kick try the inside kick and you don't make it, the Extreme gets it, you're automatically in bad field position.
You need, what, 4 scores here to try and win the game. 4 scores. It's only 9 minutes to go. If you want to win the game, you got to kick the onside kick.
But if they're going to win, it's going to come down to this. The defense is going to have to succeed. And if they can stop them 3 and out, then they can get the ball in pretty good field position.
New quarterback for the first time this year. The absolute top selection of the inaugural XFL draft back on October 28th. And he does not get a chance to stab it right now. Scott Milanovic is in.
Tommy Maddox, a big win today. Now you get a chance to take a breather. Today was almost too easy for you, buddy.
Well, it was exciting. The offensive line did a great job. The defense did a great job. And when we got down there, we put a lot of points on the board. So it's a good opportunity to get Scott in there and let him play a little bit.
Well, you have a lot of offensive weapons. That was really obvious today with all the receivers you have, the great running backs who are emerging. You guys are really poised for a great run to the title, huh?
Well, we just got to take it 1 week at a time. This is a big one for us. We'll go next week.
Milanovic handing off to McCullough for a few yards.
Hey, I don't know how much time's left on Lee's clock.
Hey, Lee, you down there, Lee Ribbon?
Yes, sir.
How much time's left on your clock? Is your game over?
I'm just about out of gas, buddy.
Okay, well, you told him.
I'm going to hang out with the cheerleaders to get my massage finished.
You're giving him the win already. 9 minutes to go.
Give me,
Lee will never make it as a coach, that's for sure.
Right. 44. I want it.
Scott Milanovic, Maryland Terrapins all-time leading passer.
Baker.
Most of Boomer Esiason's records there. 44. Excellent student of the game. And off to the color. But Al Lugerman was telling me yesterday, when I asked him, he said Milanovic has not taken any snaps at all in practice. Usually the second guy gets a third, like the Orlando quarterback,
Kukla gets a third. You're right. He gets exactly a third of it. He gets none of it. That's amazing. And you don't see that often. Now, what they do they get snaps, but it's usually a snap for the other team's scout team. You're throwing the ball, you're handing off the ball. But as far as the timing of your game plan, now you're not getting much play. And you saw his first possession.
Combo.
They blew the cage.
Right, 44.
First time.
Well,
there you go again.
There, but late flag. Milanovic threw it anyway because he's been dying to throw the ball for a long time.
Well, once again, the cadence thing is, I don't know. It can throw both sides off.
No.
First play it threw off the offense. This time might have thrown off the defense.
Huddle up. No, you're fine. That first down, Hawk.
Defense. Left guard. 5 yards. Still third down.
Now he's thrown off the defense because he didn't take any snaps.
That's right.
Well, there's a big guy, the left tackle getting a little breather. Jerry Crafts, Big Daddy they call him. Bob Golick found out why.
He is a team player. To see him just kiss his buddy. That is one big guy. I stood next to him for a while. Not many people make me feel small.
Go. I'm backside, Big D. I'm backside.
375.
44.
Pass complete, but Bob, you had a chance, and we'll check in on this in a moment, to actually have dinner with the 375-pounder out of Buffalo, New York. Now, was there enough food in the restaurant for you two guys, or what?
Well, without a doubt, we made sure we got the restaurant that had plenty of food. And, we just sat down and did the whole lineman thing. Sit down, order as much meat as you can get, and eat until you can't move anymore.
He's played it all five.
Although I was a little disappointed that he saved room for dessert. I thought he would have filled himself up on just beef. No, I filled myself up on meat. I wasn't going for the foo-foo stuff.
44.
Play action. He's going to throw. Dropped by Leatherwood. Here's more on that big dinner.
Gentlemen, you're hungry.
Oh, yeah. I don't have to be polite and wait, do I?
Nah.
No. Okay, good.
Okay, tell me where you're
Yeah, this right here is really good. I don't want to let that get away. What's the heaviest you've ever been? It's 409. It's not 410. That's right. 410 would be fat.
You got your buddies get on the huddle going, look at the size of that guy. He's got to be 404 easy.
What do you mean? 45.
There he is.
45.
Oh, they love Big Daddy and that big gut of his.
But we were talking to him, too. He said, playing at 375, the most he's been at about 409, 410.
Actually, though, Bob, most offensive linemen are not chiseled like the other players, but you look at the size of this guy, he may have a little bit extra, but not a lot. He's a big man.
You're right, you're exactly right. He's big, he's thick. That head is chiseled, that's for sure.
And he doesn't get any extra cheap weight with the hair.
And you want to know
Some
something?
guys get.
You want to know something? I've been retired for about 7 years now. He gave me a look back into the locker room that just literally scared me. I forgot that it was like that in the locker room.
A lot of it throwing nearly picked off the line of scrimmage by James Roberson.
Good route, Frank.
Good route.
Now you go by Big Daddy, and after watching all that food you consume, the crowd behind you, good luck. Good thing it's a nice warm day today, or you might not have burned any of that off.
That's right. We had a good day today offensively, and I'm glad the whole team, defense, and everybody put a good show on for these fans,
Now, are you really 375, or is that just to keep the girls loving you?
I'm 352, but I'm still pretty.
Well, he was listed at 375. I'm just wondering, maybe Lee could follow up. Who ate more, Golick or Crafts?
Let me just say this. He leaned over and said to me, are you going to finish that?
In the end zone, smartly let go by Skinny Comer. As soon as it hits the end zone, automatically comes back to the 20. That's where the rage will take over. as LA is feasting today. But this time it's not Orlando. Well, Dave, the Rage may be hanging their heads a bit after what has been a terrific season so far, averaging, Bob, a league high 26. The rushing yards not there today, 6 points. I don't think it's just the fact that the rush attack has worked. Nothing really worked for the Rage
Trey,
today.
60 feet. No, they got out of the rush game early, forced themselves to pass all day, and they attacked. And one of the keys here was penalties. Their season average was 5.8 penalties per game. Today, 13. And it's not just the number of penalties, but it's when they come sometimes. It really hurts you.
In motion, Skinny Culver.
Nice catch.
Swain gets the catch to the 37-yard line.
There's the Keyshawn Johnson.
He's out here.
Yeah, well, stop Milanovic.
GM's right there. You know, I'm going to start coaching, and I needed something to do until I finished my degree. Because we just bought a house and just bought another house upstate New York. What are you doing?
Keyshawn Johnson. Lock it in Milanovic. Go over the middle, complete to Swain. Kevin Swain diving inside the 50-yard line. We'll listen in a little more.
I'm about to throw one deep. No, I don't. I stopped dipping. My man's got the expensive yellow diamonds. He's got the expensive yellow diamonds.
I had DeWitt with me yesterday.
Keyshawn Johnson on the right there in the tan shirt with the jeans. Great wide receiver. Former Trojan as well. A lot of UCLA and USC stars are out here playing. Mario Bailey making the catch there.
On the ball. Ralph, he was on the ground now. Well, with under 5 minutes left, under 4 minutes left, I don't think they think at this point they're going to be able to put enough points on the board to win this one. But at least they want to work on some hurry up, learn some things, and look respectable finishing it up.
Brooklyn with some time throwing, nearly picked up. Yes, it is picked up. It's picked up by Reggie Jordan of Los Angeles. Hang on. Referee's jumping into it. Yes, it will be an interception. But he was stopped around the 30-yard line.
Once again, this defense, whether it's rushing or covering, unbelievable, great position. Look at him right underneath the receiver. I don't know why that ball was thrown. That ball was thrown right to Durden.
Penalties have been huge to stop and drive.
The Orlando Rage were hoping to clinch first today, but so far it has been the Xtreme #1. Still holding out hope for home field overall. Big hits today in this game, Bob Golick.
If you want to live in the trenches, take a listen. Then make your decision.
No thanks.
It's like music.
I don't think so.
Look at that
stuff. I wouldn't mind doing that.
Yeah, right. You scored a touchdown. Look at that determination. You don't want the helmet ripped off your head, though.
Atlanta Rage came in very excited, and they know they got a lot of season to go. 6-1 after this game.
And like we were saying before, a lot of people don't realize this. There's a certain amount of release and relief that comes with this loss for the Rage. Certainly they didn't want to lose by this amount.
44.
But man, that whole stigma of being undefeated, man, that adds an extra dimension of tension to your whole season that you don't need on top of everything else.
Now you might think, all right, they lose, they still have 3-game lead at first, not a big deal. Well, it is a big deal because with LA winning, it's now only a 1-game difference between the two teams. LA only has to make up one over the final 3, having won the head-to-head. Again, we're looking way ahead, but if it came down to the big game at the end, and LA can make up the 1 game over the final 3, and they've got 2 of those at home, then they could host the big game again if they got that far. So this game does have implications. And off to Oxendine, not to mention making a statement to the Rage and to the XFL that the Xtreme are here to stay. Of course, XFL coming up on UPN at 7 o'clock Eastern. The Demons of San Francisco at 3-3. They're going to need a win to stay a game back of LA. Chicago Enforcers, crucial game for the Enforcers tonight, Bob. If they lose, they're 2 out of
the second-place playoff spot with 3 to go. If they win, they're just a game out of the playoff spot.
Yeah, they've been battling hard all season. I think at the beginning of the year, they didn't think they were going to be that close. But like you said, it's a short season. You got to win it when you can, and it's going to be a tough one.
Orlando Rage with 3 to go in this 10-game season. We will see them next week. The hot Hitmen, who have won 2 straight now to pull into second, will battle. And then the 2 road games at Birmingham, both playing for their lives. That game on the network of NBC. And then they finish it out against Chicago. Look at the Xtreme schedule here. 2 of their final 3 are homebound.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, being at home is definitely a good thing. The Outlaws, a tough one. And I don't know. I think the way the momentum carries, though, this time of the year, it's got to be good for the Xtreme in that sense. But the one thing we're noticing, too, is that I don't want to say there's a total changeover of power, but some teams are starting to finally get in sync. So it's hard to tell what that end of the season schedule is truly going to give to them.
Tommy Maddox had a huge day, couple of touchdowns. Let's get the chance, and he finds Darnell McDonald, who already has 2 touchdowns. And man, up 25 points. They're still throwing the ball. They want to give Milanovic some experience, but I'm wondering if Orlando Rage are a little ticked off on the sidelines. Well, they're throwing bombs.
Cover 2, huh? Well, I don't know if it's that. I mean, they want to be able to move the ball, and you can't tell Scott Milanovic who you're trying to get some experience to just to hand the ball off.
In a lounge.
But the thing is, McDonald had so beaten Ricky Bell out in the deep that he had to throw it. Milanovic had to throw the ball to him.
He could just run it, though, right off the bat.
You know, McDonald was standing there waving his arms like, he was the last guy picked for a softball game.
I'm sure Al Luganville will say, hey, we want to get Art back up. It's so important in the XFL, as we've seen in the recent weeks. Some playing time.
That's all this is about. It's not about running the score up. Al Luganville is not like none of these coaches that I've been able to tell are that kind of person. This is all about getting Milanovic good, true experience, not handoff right, handoff left.
Tommy Maddox has been the class of the XFL quarterback so far today. 3 first-half touchdowns. He threw for 2. He ran for another, and he played error-free football once again for the 3rd straight week.
Where'd you get
His replacement, Scott Milanovic, the first pick of the draft this year, finally getting a chance. First snaps of the season.
You got the edge. You got the edge. Get on the line. On the line, Gibby. 44. Hot. Nobody knew. We didn't have our big
Prior to the snap, delay of game. Offense, number 13. 5 yards. The down remains second.
Didn't matter if it was a delay of game.
Nice job, Juan.
They were going into the take a knee
nice job, baby.
Formation.
Hey, Sally.
Al is finally conceding victory here. 42 seconds left, and yes, a smile from the head coach. And why not? Well-deserved effort for his Xtreme.
The Xtreme will protect themselves and take a knee. But at this point, but over.
Huge monster win for the LA Xtreme.
We got one more snap. Good job, Reggie. Boy.
The LA Xtreme
will go
to 5-2 and take a 1-game lead on Vegas. Orlando now with Jeff Brom injured and hoping to be back for the playoffs if he's even out 3 weeks. That will be determined in the coming week. Al Luganville and the LA Xtreme a huge 31-6 victory and undefeated no longer. The Miami Dolphins at 72 can celebrate.
Coach, is this one of those games you just chalk it up and say we got outplayed today?
Yeah, I mean, they played an excellent game. We lost field position all day. We couldn't get anything going offensively. Played extremely well defensively and offensively. And the kicking game. They were an extremely good football team today.
How much is it going to hurt you with Jeff Brom on the sidelines for at least the next 3 or 4 weeks?
Well, it always hurts you when you lose your starting quarterback. We've got to go back, regroup. We got confidence in Brian Kuklik, and we'll have to go from there.
Were you happy with what you saw in Kuklik this afternoon?
Well, I think Brian can handle it. I don't have any doubts about that. We just got to go back and practice a little bit.
All right, Coach.
Coach, a big win against the Rage. This wasn't a big win. This was a good old-fashioned ass-whooping.
Well, I don't know if I'd say that. That's for you to say.
I'll say it again. This is a good old-fashioned ass-whooping, Coach.
I've competed against Galen and his staff too many years to know that this is one of those days where everything went our way, and Our guys made a lot of plays.
Now, your team seemed to be very confident. When does it become a potential overconfidence, and how are you going to keep these guys pumped up for the remainder of the season going into the big game at the end?
Like they got 24 hours to celebrate this, and then it's on to Las Vegas. And they know that. That's how we've gotten where we are, and we got to continue it now.
You're giving them a whole 24 hours?
Whole 24 hours.
I'm hiding at home tonight then.
Thank you.
Al Luganville with his hot LA Xtreme, winners of 3 straight, behind Tommy Maddox, who was outstanding today for the Xtreme.
Hey, Brian, really a tough game for you guys. How do you guys bounce back and come back next week?
We just got to go back and practice like we have been. We've won 6 games straight. You hate to... Today was one of those days, and we just got to get back and prepare like we have been.
Have you guys ever had that many breakdowns on the offensive line like you had today?
No, never. The first quarter, we're the least penalized team in the league, and we come out, we got penalties all over the place. So, just from the very get-up, it didn't go for us.
Now, if this team gets into the playoffs, you're going to be the guy that has to lead them. What are you going to do, and are you looking forward to that?
I can't wait. I've been looking forward to this, and looking forward to taking the first snap next week and playing the whole game.
All right, Brian.
Tommy Maddox, we already talked about a big win about halfway through the end of the fourth quarter. Coming up next week, how do you guys stay pumped and ready to go into the draft for the end?
Well, next week's a big division game for us, so it won't take long to get us pumped up. This was a good win for us, but next week we get back in the division, and we got to go play well.
Well, Coach Luganville says you got 24 hours to enjoy this. How are you going to enjoy it?
Well, I'm going to go home and be with my family, but everybody will enjoy it. We'll get back to work next week. Everybody knows what we got to do, so we're still a long way from where we want to be.
Well, they told me the hot tub's empty if you want to go down in the end zone there.
Well, that might not be too bad.
Tommy Maddox accounting for 3 touchdowns today, and everybody wants a piece of the quarterback who started for UCLA and left after his sophomore year, toiled in the NFL for several years.
Hey, Jermaine Copeland, you guys came out here and made a statement today.
Oh, yeah, big time. Hey, we knew they're an undefeated team, but we know we got a better team. The LA Xtreme hadn't really played real football till today, and that's what we came out and did, played real football.
You guys think you would dominate the way you did today?
Oh, yeah, basically, we totally dominated. I mean, the whole offense and defense, that's just the LA Xtreme at its best right there. If we play like that the rest of the season, everything's on lock. You can guarantee that.
Is this a team that can win the championship?
It's a team that's going to blow somebody out at the championship, trust me.
Very nice. Confidence.
Juan Long, a defensive spectacular performance today, and one play sticks out in everybody's mind. It was you hitting Jeff Brom, and the young guy's out for a couple of weeks.
It was a big game for us. Brom was a big QB for them. Really, he's their leader on the team. Once he got out, we understand that we were going. You killed the head, body follow.
Now, a lot of people have said that the defense for the Xtreme hasn't quite been keeping up with the offense. Does this kind of silence those critics, you think?
It definitely does. Beginning of the year, I know we had big plans, but so far last 2 games, we ain't put up the par. This game here, we came out, played well. The critics not being quiet.
I hear Tommy Maddox wants you to join him in the hot tub in the end zone. Great game.
All right.
The LA Xtreme smiling today after this huge victory. 25-zip and a half, 31-6. The final. We'll be back with more. We'll go to the locker rooms and catch up more with the players. The LA Xtreme moves to 5-2 and a 1-game edge in the West. The Orlando Rage, their first defeat of the season. They fall to 6-1. Back with more from the LA Coliseum in just a moment. You're watching the XFL on the National Network. Veteran Smash Mouth football player Larry Zonka, the Zonk, heading north to Alaska. Join him immediately following the game. For those of you on the West Coast, go behind the scenes with the ground-pounding drag racers on popular hot rodding television. I don't know if Zonka has a 39 on the back of that green jacket, but you'll find out next on North to Alaska on the East Coast at 7. Popular hot rodding is at 4 p.m. out west. The LA Xtreme got off to a good start in this game, Robert, and it started with the punt return.
No doubt about it. It was right off the bat. It was the special teams that took control. Damon Gibson was the one that took it down, put them in great field position to score, which they did. Tommy Maddox diving over the top. coming back, that one of the big factors here, Jeff Brom getting whacked by Juan Long, putting him out for at least the next 3 to 4 weeks. But once again, the Xtreme attack, they slant, thrown to McDonald, and a quick slant over the middle coming from the left-hand side. Here we got the interception.
Good interception of the play by Lamont Evans. That goes late in the second quarter, too, Bob, setting up yet another slant.
And the exact same play on the other side to McDonald, just a quick slant.
All of a sudden at the half, it was 25-zip, and any hope of an Orlando run in the second half ended by the McCullough touchdown. Right there. 31-6. Let's go to the Orlando Rays locker room live.
We got 5 left, guys. That's where we got to go. Guys, hey, get your heads up. You're the best football team in this league. Got the best record. You're leading the East. Get your heads up. A lot to be proud about. Now, take care of your teammates. Tonight, you're on your own. Don't embarrass yourself for this organization. We will leave at 6:15 in the morning. You leave a wake-up call. Have your roommate leave a wake-up call. But guys, I gotta have you there. You know that. You know what's right. Take care of your teammates, all right? All right, guys. Let's have some fun. Here, come on in here on me, guys.
Bring it up.
Yeah, just get around, get your hands in the air, guys. Rage on 3. 1, 2, 3, rage!
Galen Hall stressing the positives, which he should, because it has been a well of a start. Despite today, it's one game, it's 60 minutes, and they got to tuck it away. 6-1 so far. Moments ago now, over in the LA Xtreme locker room.
I got it. Yeah, I did. That was one hell of an effort. Now, we've got where we are now because we took it upon ourselves to focus on each week. We got till 1 o'clock tomorrow to enjoy this one, and then it's on to Las Vegas, right here. Conference game. Saturday. Division game. Guys, they don't get any bigger. I don't have to say anything more, okay? So let's get prepared. Focus. It's going to be a short week on the practice field. Play like hell Saturday night. Good job, and let's count them off.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Jim Bell, I'm on headset with Mike if you need me. You want Jermaine Copeland?
Here in Los Angeles, the LA Xtreme winning 31-6, and the focus as Orlando tries to pick it up after the defeat. And Al Luganville actually lying to us. He said he was going to give them 24 hours. He chopped it immediately to 21 hours.
Down to 21.
Enjoy it till 1 o'clock tomorrow.
And Galen Hall,
Galen
Hall, by the way, if you live in Southern California, be careful. There are some raging people staying around till 6:15 in the morning.
Watch your teammates. Back down to the locker room.
Damon Gibson, some big plays by you early on kind of set the tone for this LA Xtreme victory. Did you come into this game knowing you had to do that?
I come into every game knowing I have to do that. That's my job. I'm the punt returner, and my job is to get us in good field position. I know with the weapons we have on this team, it's like none other. You know, we get us down there, that part of the field, we're going to score. So I knew we were going to win this game if I would, come to play today.
Now, why is the LA Xtreme team gelling so well at this late stage?
Man, it's late in the season. I think this is the best time to be playing your best football. And we talked about it all camp. Some things didn't go our way. We had a few injuries, guys get dinged up, and we wasn't clicking. But, we still managed to pull out a few games. But we know we're the best team in the XFL, and it's the right time to be playing good football, and we're looking forward to winning the championship this year.
LA the pick by many of the experts in the preseason. Didn't look that way when they lost their first game, but they have responded since losing that first game by winning 5 of their last 6.
Hey, Derek, Coach was in here talking to you guys. You guys still have a lot to be proud of, but a tough day for you guys.
Oh, yeah, hey, they came out, they played ball. We started out flat, and we tried to pick it up in the second half, but it was too late. They had a great game plan ready for us, and they came out and played ball, and we didn't.
What happened with the running game today? You guys never really got it started. You barely touched the ball.
We started out. We got some good yards right out the bat, but I had a couple of penalties that brought it back, and and from then it kind of went downhill from there.
Is there anything positive you guys can take from this game?
Oh yeah, it's just a reality check for us, and hey, this one behind us over with now. We just got to get ready for next week.
All right, Derek.
Stop the streak.
That's
they
right.
Did it.
That's right. And Derek Clark, well, you know, he's a guy that they've relied on quite a bit. Today, 5 carries, only 11 yards. Certainly they went away from him, and I don't know, maybe they learned a valuable lesson. Don't go away from the ground attack if you're going to win a game.
There was talk, Bob, about the Outlaws earlier in the season, the Demons, and both of those teams could still be in the mix. The Rage, of course. All of a sudden, the LA Xtreme, they show you today they may be the best team in the XFL.
And you know what? It was so complete today. And, you know, it sounds cliche when you talk about complete games. But the special teams, as we've said so many times, set the tone not only for the game and the excitement, but also the field position. And when that, you know, came, then the offense took it to it. Then the defense went after the Rage offense and beat them up. And it was a total team victory.
We told you there would be explosives, but as it turned out, it was lopsided. It was all L.A. The streak is over. The weight, maybe perhaps, Bob, off the shoulders of Orlando now. Still have a good 3-game edge in the Eastern Division. Final thought?
There's no doubt about that. The weight is off them now. They're still in the perfect position. If they can run out the course of their schedule, don't discount that Orlando Rage team just yet.
Next week, we'll have the Hitmen and Orlando on TNN at 1 o'clock. LA in the big NBC game, hosting Las Vegas. Final score again, 31-6. Football fans, more XFL action right now on UPM as San Francisco Demons take on the Chicago Enforcers at famed Soldier Field. For Bob Golick, for Kip Lewis, Lee Rearman, the entire crew, Craig Minervini, so long from Los Angeles, where the Xtreme have won their 5th game of the season, 5 out of 6, to take a 1-game lead in the West. Orlando now leading by 3 in the East. From Los Angeles, Craig Minervini, so long. This is the XFL on TNN, the national network.